What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Italian Stallion, here for another episode of Rebels with a Cause. You know what time it is, baby. It's 9:30 Wednesday night, and you know it's time for that cause because that cause don't stop when the clock hits zero. Got another fantastic show tonight for you. Got some guests coming on the panel. Got a lot to talk about, man. First and foremost, though, if you haven't seen them play, you're going to have an opportunity tomorrow night because what a phenomenal job by the West High Lady Rebels soccer team getting it done. Questionable calls. I love you, Mr. Referee. Thanks for not throwing me out, but I'm telling you, nobody came to see you. But West still got it done, and I'll tell you this much: Farragut, hats off to you. Fantastic season. Know a very nice young lady over there who I've watched grow up, who I feel like an uncle to, Eva Tercios. And I just want you to know, young lady, whatever you decide to do, you have the world at your beck and call. I would hope that maybe if you do go to UT, try to walk on that soccer team because you're a talented young lady, and just because it didn't show this year at Farragut, we know that you can you can play. Your dad is a fantastic coach, and who I consider not only a best friend but my brother. Shout out to Will Tercios, and honorary team staff member of the West High Stats Committee there on the support staff. But that being said, fantastic season by Farragut. Again, somebody always wins or loses that game, and who's always waiting for them? Big Bad Bearden. I mean, the championships, national, state, that's royalty tomorrow night. And the fact that West is going to be hosting that tomorrow night, to the first time in 75 years as a school, and against your rival Bearden. What a fantastic opportunity. And I want to give a shout out to Roberto Castro and Paul Romero for us to come back because they enjoyed so much the high school game day experience yesterday. So tomorrow night, Lady Rebels High School Game Day Part 2, the sequel from Bill Wilson Field, 5:45 tomorrow night. We're going to go on for about 20, 30 minutes, and Coach Castro is going to come on for a few minutes before the game and talk to us. And then 6:30, it is time for a district championship tomorrow night. West 12-1-1, Bearden 13-2-1. These two teams met earlier in the season. It was at West on a Friday night. It ended in a draw. It cannot end in a draw tomorrow night, so the business will pick up where it was left off. Ironically, in the same place. It's almost like it was meant to be. But 6:30 tomorrow night. Please show up. Support these girls. The tickets are $6. Come on in there and let's have a fantastic showing. You know Bearden's going to bring their people. West had a fantastic crowd, and let's just root on the girls and see if they can make history and win their first ever district championship. We'll be there, and we're proud of them, and we wish you ladies, and Coach Castro and the staff the best of luck tomorrow night against the Bearden Lady Bulldogs. Go get them, guys. Also, Friday night, West at William Blunt this Friday night. Another elimination game, man. This is going to be for a 4 seed right here. And, game's going to be at William Blunt. We need the support. The boys need the support. Shout out to Coach Chandler, his staff, and the guys. Hope they got some guys healed up and are ready to rock and roll for this big stretch because every week counts here on forward. And I love it. I love it. Backs against the wall. Go get them, guys. Everything you got. So, but that being said, got some other things that we need to get out there too real quick. The views and opinions of this program are not affiliated with those of any other organization or of Knoxville West High School. This is the RWAC Crew and Panel's views. Also, join that chat box live. Point out if we've inaccurately said something. Also, voice what you guys want to talk about. Honestly, this is much your show as ours. Remember, we are all rebels with a cause, and that cause don't stop when the clock hits zero. Also, got to give some quick love to my gal Kim Castle and King's Chamber there off of Washington Pike. Go pay her a visit. $5 off a haircut here in the month of October for spooky season. If you're a new customer, she'll get you a discount. Let them know that Rebels with a Cause sent you. You will get the royal treatment over there. Pedicures, manicures, the beard trims, haircuts. Go pay them a visit. Let them know Rebels with a Cause sent you. Also got to give some quick love to our guy Alex Thatcher, class of 2003 grad, and his Knoxville Coffee Company. It's getting chilly out there, and the temperatures are going to drop after this weekend. So what better way to welcome the month of October with some brew there in the heart of Marble City off of Sutherland Avenue? Let them know Rebels with a Cause sent you. Also, if you're just looking for a more traditional haircut, the old-fashioned way, go hit up Razor Shop Barber Shop in Knoxville. Let them know Rebels with a Cause and 332 Studios 2 Pair Tate sent you. Go see Josh Fink or Corey. They will fix you up in no time. And speaking of 332 Studios, Big Fact Sports Network, follow them, give them some love. They're our sister channel, and honestly, they're doing some fantastic things over there. But let them know that Rebels with a Cause sent you, and show them the love that you show us. Up to 118 subscribers now, guys. I am so tickled pink. Glad for you guys. Spread the word. We hope that you want to be on the show. As a panelist or as a guest. We try to get everybody on, and we're going to be expanding this channel. Me and the crew have been talking about having our own shows, different formats, platforms. The possibilities are endless, but this wouldn't even be possible if it wasn't for your love and support. So definitely hit that like and subscribe button. It helps with the analytics and definitely generates some more views for us. So just want to give you all that kudos and thank you for all the love and support. We wouldn't do this without you, because we don't get paid for this. This is just out of the kindness of our good heart, and this is like what we call our male sports therapy hour every Wednesday night that we need to get through all the ridiculous and rough times that is life. But that being said, got to bring on my panel. Lots to talk about. I know they got their opinion, man. Woo! If you're a coach, if you ain't winning, man, you about to get the axe. So make sure you got your agent. They got you a good buyout, so that way you don't have to work again. But we know that's not the case. It's the best profession, and who better to talk about it than my first panelist that I'm going to bring on? He first started off as our stats guy, one of the original of the show, was nicknamed by our guy, Mr. Parker Dubon, the coach. And Parker had a fantastic birthday weekend. Sorry, Auburn didn't come through for him. Got screwed by the refs, in my opinion, but that's a different story. We'll talk about that. But love that the Dubon family got to celebrate with him down there in the plains for his birthday. Happy birthday, young man. Keep it going. But got to bring on our guy, man. Here comes the money, baby. Give him that love and respect he deserves. The one, the only, Mr. Shane O'Mac. How you doing, baby?
I am a lot better today.
The color, I can see it, man. Your color, there's a little swag. And let me tell you something. I think it's very appropriate to say, here comes the money tonight. So there we go.
If I wasn't in my boots still, I'd throw on my Jordans and do the dance. But
Uh, Hey, just don't tear an ACL like what Shane O'Mac did. Shane McMahon did it at Royal Rumble and was done
it's
for his career.
it's mine's already torn.
Oh,
So
that's right. That's right. You just have to wear that brace and do it. So,
yeah.
oh, Shane.
All I gotta say is God is good, and today was a blessing.
Amen, brother. The prayers worked, and we know that the best. This is just the beginning, and the best is yet to come. And sometimes you have to walk through hell and the fires before you get to a paradise. So just keep that in mind, baby. Honestly. So yes, sir. Got to bring on our other guy. Let me just tell you this. I'm so excited because he's been my guy, my wing at these away games, helping me get the stats done for the football team. Got another road game this Friday night, and I'm hoping he'll be there to help me out because I'll need him. But uh, added him to the crew. Couldn't have asked for a better guy to be on here. When he was a SRO, making sure that everybody was enjoying big games like what I experienced last night and will experience tomorrow, you knew it was a big game because he was there. And what better way to welcome him on here? He's got probably some great games for you to keep an eye on this week. He knows his stuff. Give him the respect and love he deserves. The one, the only, Mr. Big Game, Kerry Reeves. How you doing, baby?
Oh, how's everybody doing tonight?
Oh, it's
Ready to?
Wednesday night, man. This is my
Yep,
favorite time, man.
yep.
It's hump
My
day.
favorite
Help
time of
us
the
get
week,
over.
Wednesday night. Get to talk with my boys. I'm gonna have a
Yeah.
good night tonight.
Can I ask you guys something? If you all just took a breath outside today, what a gorgeous fall day in
Beautiful,
East Tennessee.
absolutely beautiful.
And I'm listening to XM College Sports Radio, and it's just like, man, it's football. We're in the middle of it. I'm just trying to soak it in because it's hard to believe, guys. We are already entering week 8 of college
Mhm.
football. I mean, we are. And going down at the bottom is the week 7 top 25 results. The most of us we picked last week. I don't think anybody went against anybody. We pretty much went with the favorites, and we should have known some craziness was going to happen, but I
Mhm.
just did not expect the way that it went. Off the top of my head, guys, props. I don't like this guy, but what he has done, he's gone into a blue blood of a basketball program, made them believe, and they went into Autzen Stadium and only
Mhm.
snapped the longest home game winning streak, 18. And by the way, keep that number in mind because I got a little diamond. Maybe you already have it, Kerry, because you already know
Ooh.
your stuff. But I've got a little diamond for later on the show when we're doing predictions
All right.
because I really believe that if you've got the next home field advantage, because there's a certain team that does now have that distinction, and I believe that it will end at around 11:30 Saturday night if everything goes as planned as I believe it to be. That they will have gone the likes of the Oregons, the Georgias, and everybody else that's lost. Missouri, all these teams had these long home game winning streaks, and they've snapped this year. And I think this team goes down Saturday night as well. That being said, I'll save it for later. But yeah, got to give props to the Indiana Hoosiers for walking into
Oh
Oregon.
yeah.
I thought Oregon on paper was probably 10 to 14 points better than them, but that's why they play the game. And even surviving a pick six and all,
Mhm.
Indiana found a way to win by 10 points, guys, comfortably. I mean, that was a game that stood out to me. What about you, Shane? What was a game that stood out to you this past weekend that was a surprise? Maybe you didn't see it coming. What were you thinking? Just curious.
I really liked the Auburn Georgia game,
Hmm.
and that was a freaking timeout. Like, come on,
Yeah.
Auburn got screwed, but that was a
Mhm.
damn good game. Um, Texas bounced back really well.
Who saw that coming? I mean,
I
did they make a mistake playing Mateer? I mean, does Hawkins get the victory instead, or do you see more of the same? What do you guys think?
No, I think the
no.
way Texas's defense played that day, material. I don't. It wouldn't have mattered who was the quarterback. Texas defense was unbelievable. They were all over
Yeah.
whoever your quarterback would have been, Mateer or Hawkins. They would have been all over him. And it's also a rivalry game. I don't put anything past anybody in a rivalry game.
That is
True.
And
true.
you knew eventually that Arch would play well in a big spot, and he did. He was absolutely brilliant.
I think we've been bad on this criticism. I think we've been
Hmm.
expecting him to be junior and senior year Peyton. When if we go back to Peyton's first year, he wasn't
Great.
great.
He wasn't.
Like you saw the flashes there, but I mean, it just he wasn't there yet. I think we've been holding Arch to too high of a standard just because of who
Yep.
his uncles are and who his
Hmm.
grandfather is. So I still think he could have a good career. Just
I
to see
think so
what
too.
next year does in the following year.
Yeah. And I think that group of receivers he's got are only going to get better. Maybe we're
Hmm.
a year
Yeah.
away. And then not to mention, I can't minimize the loss of Cedric Baxter. I mean, this running back is a bull,
Hmm.
and to lose him again and so forth to another knee injury, that's really, I think, changed the focus that teams could tee off because they knew there wasn't much in that running back room. And that O-line has been suspect. But I will say this much, guys. Is that much of a reflection on Oklahoma, perhaps? Because here's the thing, guys. Oklahoma, really, Michigan's not that good, and USC just
Hmm.
beat the brakes off of
Yeah.
them on Saturday night. That's number one. That was a game that Two Pair, when he comes on, I do want to bring up because he actually asked us, anybody's thoughts on Michigan USC? I thought that it would be a competitive game. I thought that USC would win probably because of the trip for Michigan going out
Hmm.
there, but I didn't expect that,
Yeah, that was a
guys.
blowout from the
No.
word go.
And so that's one of Oklahoma's best victories. The other victory is against an Auburn team that, played tough, but at the same time, it's like they still are deficient. And there's a reason why Auburn fans want Hugh Freeze gone still. And the thing is that now Oklahoma went up against Texas. And Sark, man, has a great record in that Red River rivalry,
Hmm.
guys. I mean, it's kind of like how Stoops was with Mac Brown there for a while
I
when those
think
teams.
Oklahoma was overvalued.
I think they were too.
I just did see that coming. I mean, we all thought Oklahoma was just going to curb stomp them. So
We thought Texas had
props to
folded
Texas.
this chair. I mean, let's be real, guys. I mean, that Texas, what else did they really have to play for? I mean, and so I think that was warranted, and Oklahoma was feeling good. That's why I just asked, did they bring Mateer back too quick? And could Hawkins have maybe done a little bit better? But at the same time, Hawkins is kind of a wild card. We've played
Mm-hmm.
against him, and he
Yeah,
didn't
we
even look
shut him
that great
down
against
last.
Kent
Yeah,
State. So,
exactly.
but Shane, you're right though. That game, the 3:30 window, man, has been spooky. I'm sorry, the 3:30 window has been very spooky on Saturday. So yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Another game that I saw, and we'll talk about this later. But another game that I had that was very interesting was Indiana and Oregon. I mean, that was very impressive what Indiana did to them. Go up to that tough stadium and beat them the way that they did. It wasn't even that close, to be honest with you. 30-20, it wasn't that close. Oh, Indiana really dominated from the second quarter on. That was their football game. And what about Kurt Signetti, man? 17-2 as Indiana coach. 17-2. Couldn't beat a top 10 team. He's beaten two of them.
And that's what I'm saying, Kerry. Like, I really believe, like, I mean, this guy walked into a blue blood, a basketball program,
Mm-hmm.
and has now made them a football program. And now
Yep.
you look at it and we haven't even gotten into the Penn State thing. We're going to talk about
Oh,
that here in a
we'll get
second.
into that.
I mean, we have to, but here now Indiana, who everybody was thinking was a flash in the pan last year. They look like they are the number 2 Big Ten team. And, talking about the storylines coming up, this is the storylines going in 7 weeks in. James Franklin's gone. Which coach
Mm-hmm.
is next? I mean, there is a slew of coaching positions that are open. How many SEC teams will make the playoffs? I mean, right now you've got 5 in the top 10,
And
and now they're
Tennessee's
about to
sitting at
play each other.
12.
Yeah, and Tennessee's just on the outside looking in, and they're all about to play each other. So that's going
Mm-hmm.
to be something as well. And like you mentioned, is Indiana for real? Can they beat Ohio State? And then, like Shane just mentioned, how the bad calls in these big games. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the referees, guys, have been atrocious at all levels. I can't stress that enough, and it's
Don't
just
tell me
getting
about it.
worse. And nobody is holding them accountable. I've heard on shows throughout the XM week, it's like nobody's holding these referees accountable at
Mm-hmm.
this point.
I
So,
agree. And you ask about Indiana and Ohio State. The beauty for Indiana is the only time they would see Ohio State would be the Big Ten championship game because they don't play them in the regular season. The only tough game really Indiana's got left is Penn State. And I don't think that's going to be tough because that's in Indiana. That doesn't look so good. That doesn't look so tough now. No James Franklin and no Drew Aller out for the rest of the year with a leg injury.
that was just unbelievable. And we're going to talk about that game.
Mm-hmm.
When he's ready and gives me the thumbs up, I got another guy backstage that obviously has got a lot to talk about and so forth. And, chat box, if you're on tonight and so forth, definitely give us what just let us know what you want to talk about, what stood out to you. But if I got the thumbs up from my guy backstage, I got to bring him on and so forth, because I'm going to tell you this right now. I know he's got a lot to talk about, and he watched a lot of football this weekend. And when he's ready to come on, I know he's got a lot to say and so forth. But talking about that Penn State situation, I was listening to Josh Pate show
Mm-hmm.
on the way on my trip,
I
and
like
he
Josh.
he gave that Penn State Northwestern game, like, he rated it as an 8, possibly on an upset of a 1 to 10 scale. And what he
Mm-hmm.
said was he didn't like the fact that it was an early kick. He said that there could be the hangover, and that if Northwestern scores and basically just kind of hangs around, then basically the upset's there for the taking. It's almost like he looked in a crystal ball, guys, and basically predicted that, because that's
Mm-hmm.
exactly how it went down. And then, Kerry, like you mentioned, the Drew Aller injury. But
Yep.
but that being said, let me get my other guy on here. He's ready to talk and so forth like that. Listen, this guy, the OG, started this with me. We had a fantastic live show last night. Can't wait to do it again tomorrow for the sequel. It's going to be outstanding tomorrow night there from West High Stadium. But, introduction, 2003 Mr. West, the voice of the running Rebels and Lady Rebels for 20 years now coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Now the voice of the Panthers and Lady Panthers in basketball, too, coming up on year number 2. And my favorite Seminole, you know him. Come on, guys. The one, the only, 2-pair Tate. Brian Tate, what is up, baby? How you doing?
Stop.
Hey man, glad to see you guys. Glad to see you guys. Man, what a week! What a week! What a weekend! It's been we more coach firing. You see an NFL coach get fired. You see a college coach get fired.
Mm-hmm.
We're living in a time where you got to produce, and just the way Penn State fell the first time to Oregon, it was a tight game. It was a close game. You lose the white. Like I felt like that was one of those they were going to let slide, right? Then you lose
Mm-hmm.
to UCLA, an ugly UCLA team that just fired their coach,
Mm-hmm.
right? You lose to them ugly. You lose to the Fighting Doctors and Lawyers of Northwestern.
Don't forget reporters.
Reporters. Oh, Mike Wilbon. Shout out to
Yeah.
Mike Wilbon.
Mike Greenberg too.
Mike Greenberg too. Shout out to Greeny. But
Mm-hmm.
it looked bad on all type of levels. And you're seeing that even go into the pro game where you see a guy like Brian Callahan get fired.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a crazy time that we're in where you guys are getting fired like Mike Gundy, James Franklin, Deshaun
Trent Dilfer.
Foster.
Trent Dilfer
Yeah, Trent
yesterday.
Dilfer just got fired, and we played
Trent
UAB
Dilfer
3
just
weeks
got
ago.
fired.
3 or 4 weeks ago, we played
Yep.
UAB. Yep.
But Trent Dilfer, him getting fired, that is kind of that UAB's not going to be competing for national titles.
No, heck no.
They're that's a school where you're getting 2 to 3 star guys at the
Mm-hmm.
most. You're getting 2 to 3 star guys or guys that are either academic issues or they're not receiving enough playing time at a higher D1 major team. You can't fire a guy like who's building a culture there. Who's
Mm-hmm.
like you're not going to get that much. You're not getting those guys from Auburn and Alabama.
No.
Like
No.
Or the Louisiana leftovers, like the people that don't want to go to
Or
LSU.
Troy leftovers.
Yeah, it's just a mix of things, man. But with all this college football, all the good things that are going on in high school football, I really think our Rebels, they kind of mean business this week. Like
Mm-hmm.
I get a sense just from the way they were at practice yesterday and the way they were at the game. And shout out to the Lady Rebels if y'all didn't talk about it.
Oh,
If
yeah,
y'all were
we did. I
good.
let him off. I gave
Yeah,
them, oof, yeah,
man, big shout out to them. It
yeah.
was very cool. I've never seen like our students have really gravitated to this show, and I really want to thank them. Shout out to Abdul, shout out to Muhammad,
Yep.
shout out to Grayson Dubon. You know what I'm saying? Like shout out to our guys, Yariq, all those guys that came in on the live yesterday.
Yep.
Raheem,
Javier Andrade, yep.
Javier
Yeah,
Andrade.
beautiful,
Like
man.
there's a ton of
Beautiful.
great talent at their school still, and they're still fighting. The Messiah Rins of the world, the seniors kind of they put the onus on them right
Mm-hmm.
now, and I really want to say, man, this soccer game tomorrow, this is a big game, like 12-1 versus 12-2 no 13-2 Bearden. It's gonna be an event. I beg all of you to come out. You know what I'm saying, to show support. It was such an electric atmosphere in a 1-0 victory for the Lady Rebels.
Oh, it was
Getting to
amazing.
see Sonny Trotter,
That's awesome.
Haven't seen him in years, and now seeing him these past few weeks because we're watching soccer, right? We're talking about soccer
Yep.
on Rebels with a Cause.
Well,
Like,
and we can't even. And we had Vols there, Vol for Life there. We had Coach Philip Falmer supporting his
yeah,
granddaughter Tori
Oh, that's
Pease,
awesome.
Brit,
That's awesome.
and we had
Dustin Colquitt.
Dustin Colquitt was
Yep.
there. I mean, goodness gracious! I mean, we were. It was
You had a
amazing to
who's
see
who.
everybody. It was a
You
who's
had a
who.
who's who.
Yeah, I
And
mean, that
and
was.
and right now, I've been working with Dustin's son in basketball, and it's crazy because KJ, it's just a wild image that I was going up against your fathers in other sports, and
Hmm.
now I'm announcing your son. It's
Yep.
like full circle moment.
It
So
is full circle.
it's really cool. But I just wanted to talk about that real quick because I know
Oh,
I missed
absolutely.
it. I missed it before you guys got on, and I know y'all probably did talk about it. Now I know I was
Just
gonna miss that
briefly, I
first part.
just did a shout out to them and just hype this up and right here, and we saluted
Hey, just
them
talking
and
about KJ, I saw his. I got to be around his father and his uncle growing up because I
Oh
was
yeah,
their officer at Bearden
at
High.
Bearden
So
High,
yeah,
yeah,
I got to. Yeah, and watching him, it was a full circle moment for me too. Seeing his whole family, it's absolutely amazing, man.
yeah. It's really
His
wild.
grandparents are my Sunday school teachers in my sophomore year of high
Hmm.
school.
Oh man, that's
look at
Yep,
that.
awesome. And like it's really cool because now I'm getting to watch him play basketball, and
that's awesome.
I don't know if Britton or Dustin ever played, but
They
I
both
know
Just
played
me and
soccer. They
d-
both
d-
played
both play
soccer and
soccer.
football.
Dustin,
They play
I
soccer,
didn't want
football.
to embarrass Dustin last night when we were talking, but I do want to bring up the fact that I remember a time when Dustin Colquitt was lighting it up as an eighth grader at Farragut Middle School, and I was in sixth
Oh
grade,
yeah.
and I was just, and you know who he played with? Tyson Claybo,
Yep.
who played
Hmm.
football at Wake
For the
Forest
At
and
Wake
For
at
the
the
Forest.
Falcons.
NFL. The Farragut Field is named
Yep.
after his
It's
father,
after his
Bill
father.
Claybo.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, so Tyson Claybo and Dustin were coached or were eighth grade players on that Farragut Middle School, coached by the legendary Bobby Henry,
I
and
used
who
to do
also
a few of their
coached.
game. I used to do a few of their games down there. So yeah, that's how I got to
Yep.
Man,
meet them all. Then I
Ty,
knew when they were coming to Bearden.
So
So
I could have
how
name
good
dropped
was
last night a
Tyson
little bit.
Claybo when we
Tyson
were
was
in school?
unbelievable, man.
Yes,
When
he
we were in
was.
school, Tyson Claybo was
Unbelievable.
A beast of an O
unbelievable.
lineman, played 4 years at Wake Forest, and even played in the NFL. So yeah,
I
You
Yep.
thought
know,
he was
I
one
was
of the.
gonna
I thought he was one of the best offensive linemen I've ever seen play high school ball, and I thought that kid was going to be
just a
successful.
complete bull.
I
Just a
was
Hmm.
complete.
I was on Clubhouse one day, and they were talking about who's who of your area that played in the NFL. And there's a bunch of guys from this area when you really look down the list. I mean, you've
Hmm.
got the great Leroy Thompson, Joe
Mhm.
Fishback. You've got that at Austin East, you know. Then you can travel down to Catholic and you find the
Harrison
great
Smith,
Harrison Smith who's still
Yes.
doing it
yep,
at an all pro level at the NFL.
probably going to be a Hall of Famer.
Probably going to be a Hall of Famer out of Knoxville,
Hmm.
Tennessee.
Yep,
Then you've got two-time comeback player of the year who wasn't even the best quarterback in Knoxville at the time, and Chad Pennington.
yep,
Mhm.
hmm,
You know,
Yep.
let's even go further. We've got a guy that could have been all world in basketball, but he chose to play football at Clemson, and he's making pretty decent show for the Cincinnati Bengals and T. Higgins.
T.
Yep.
Higgins,
Like
yep,
the amount of talent, and now you've got a young kid from Carnes who's doing work in
Mhm.
the SEC
Yep.
yeah.
with
And
He's
we
in
getting
the
and,
noticed
100
too.
yard game.
and we have two Colquitt brothers that played for the Chiefs and the Broncos
Yep,
respectively.
Respectively.
respectively,
You know,
had great
and
careers.
had long careers doing it. I mean, it was fantastic, and it
Hmm.
was something. And I hope that Dustin will come on the show, because it was
He
something
said he
I
would
learned.
love
He,
to.
he
Yeah,
he
he
would
told
love
He
me.
to.
would
He
love
told me
to.
that too.
Yeah,
He would
and
love
I
to.
want to bring him on. Yeah, because I learned something from him last night that he shared when he walked on to Tennessee. And it
Hmm.
was like I thought that maybe he had gotten kind of a scholarship offer or
No, he
something like
walked
that.
on.
He walked on,
He walked on
and
and became an
and
NFL player.
Yeah, and then because how well he did, it kind of opened up the door for Britain as well to kind of
Yep.
finish up Bearden, who was doing such great things
And he
in
walked on
soccer
too.
football, and
Britton
he
walked on
walked
too.
on and picked it up where it was left off with
I
Dustin. So,
remember. I remember when Britain was in ESPN magazine as our featured
Yep.
player.
Mm-hmm.
yep.
Yes.
That would have been the 2005 season, I
2005.
believe.
Yeah, because I remember when ESPN came to the school to do part of the shoot with him there. Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Mm-hmm.
he was awesome, and it's crazy because we were all rivals in high
Yeah.
school for such
Yep.
a long time. To now, we're seeing each other's kids out
Yep.
there. We're like KJ is in middle school,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
and I want to say like watching him in the tune-ups, he got better every time. Now check this out: the athletic director of the University of Tennessee, his son was at the tune-ups, James White,
Oh
and
wow.
is a
Okay.
shooter.
He is a
When
shooter too.
man, like
Hey, if he's
KJ
just like in the
Colquitt,
family,
James White, they're all in that same area of like talent, and they played well. They played a tremendous during the tune-ups fall league. Middle school basketball. I'm gonna say this: middle
yeah,
school
his
basketball
uncle's
is
coaching at Georgia, Mike White.
yeah,
He's
Mike
a
White.
pretty good coach.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be a year where middle school basketball is going to get covered uh, tremendously because there's a ton of talent at these schools.
Mm-hmm.
The Pals, the Bearden's got a tremendous team coming back with our guy Brian Tate
Mhm.
Jr., who is phenomenal talent. But
Do you want to know something that I can say about that young man, by the way? If he could suit up tomorrow for the Rebels, he would,
he
man.
play,
Him and his guys, they're there every week being like water boys, like just wanting to be
Wow,
a
that's
part of it on
cool.
the
yeah,
sidelines. I mean, they love being there and they love tossing the ball. And that's like what I love to see is they are so West. It ain't even funny, man. They are
yeah.
all Rebel, man. It's there's no doubt where they're going to school next
Oh
year.
man, there's
Yeah.
no doubt. I
Yeah.
really like
There's no
that
doubt.
young group too, man.
It's
Those
gonna be
young
fun.
kids are staying together and everything.
Yeah, and
But
even this freshman group, they're a very special group too. That we have these 2 years are going to be really fun to watch them grow as they progress, especially when that eighth grade gets here next year. Like
I
it's
am
going to
so
be
excited about
fun
the
to watch.
basketball level. I love covering basketball, and I love being around the middle school and the high school. Man, I
middle
love
school and
to
high
see that
school,
it's coming back up. I
Well,
love it.
well, and
I
yeah,
love it.
I do want to give a little bit of a tease because Two Pair and me had a very great conversation last night with Cody Graves, girls
Mm-hmm.
basketball coach going into
great
year two.
conversation.
He really feels very good about his group of girls
Good.
and really feels that they're going to win a lot more games than are going to be expected of them. Got some players that are going to be meshed in that are transferring in, as well as some girls that are naturally coming to the program through the ranks from Bearden Middle School. So we're excited about it, and we're
Fantastic.
going to have him on
Fantastic.
as a guest so he can talk about his team, his journey, and obviously what they're looking forward to. And basketball's right around the corner, guys. The
Mm-hmm.
Basketball is
jamboree's
right
coming
around the
up in a
corner.
couple of weeks. I mean,
Media
it's
Days is this week in Birmingham.
it's here.
Tennessee went today, and I'm telling you what, we got stacked. We're gonna have a good year over there at UT.
Yep,
Kim
yep.
Caldwell's team has started out eighth to start the season. Barnes is 18th, and I think that's too low for
Yeah,
this team that
I
they
think
got.
that is too
I
low.
think that's way too low.
But you
yeah,
know what? I want to. It's great that you say that. Tennessee is the only school to have all three teams ranked in the top 25.
that's
Mm-hmm.
special.
Uh,
That's
Yep.
yeah, I
special.
mean we're just an everything school. There's
Yep.
Yep.
yeah, we play very well in baseball. Like we were the defending national
And
champions.
baseball, we're going to be a top five team to
Yeah,
start the year.
five, top
With
five
what, the
team.
number one recruiting class?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep.
But everybody wants to come to play for Vitalo. I think I don't know how many years Rick Barnes has till he says he's hanging it up.
Mm-hmm.
But if he has in place what it should look like after him,
Mm-hmm.
it looks pretty good. But the one thing I'll say that Barnes brought from the eras that we were going through, we went from the Pearl era, which I think was our highest level of basketball, we can all say, until the Barnes era. I felt like Konzo never really got a traditional shot at it.
I don't think he
I
did
think
either.
I think everybody was still clamoring and wanting Bruce, so he never got he never got to really embrace Knoxville in the 3 years that he was here. You know what I'm saying? He really didn't. He didn't.
Even though they had some talented guys on those teams, people forget
Talented
that, but they
guys.
had some
Yeah, I
talented
mean
guys.
NBA guys.
Yeah, that Sweet 16 team had full of NBA guys.
Yep.
Yeah, you look at the Josh Richardsons of the world. You look at the Jarnell Stokes,
Jordan McRae.
Jordan McRae, who I just got through talking to last week. You look at those guys and you look at the talent level that UT was able to produce, and it's kind of been like a trickle down effect in almost every sport. It was just in women's basketball. After Pat, you got the Holly. Holly held it up for a certain amount of time, and then it just it became a different game in the women's game. And you saw the changing of the guard because Don Staley leaves Temple to go to South Carolina, and you start to see where the women's game changed. And then you saw what Tennessee went through in football for a number of years. It was bad. It was a bad product. It was. I remember not even wanting to go to games. I remember not even wanting to be on the field.
Oh, it was
Like
unwatchable.
there was a time where I saw Amari Cooper in Neyland Stadium become a first round draft pick. Like that's the type of memories I was having when UT was playing. I was having those type of memories. I wasn't having fond memories of the big wins. Now you got an 11 ranked team going to play the 6th ranked team in T-Town
Saturday night.
Man, the eyes
of the country will be watching that game.
Man, the eyes carry the eyes.
There's 2 games that night. That game is one of them, and USC and Notre Dame's the other.
Yeah, and we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that here in a second.
Be seen.
I want to give a shout out to Larry Frank Jr., our favorite Cajun. Larry, did you guys have an NFL show tonight? Because I was on the app and I was looking if you all did one or not. Because the only reason is I had a stat that I was going to share on your show that I was going to share when we do the NFL segment here a little bit later that we can all laugh at and so forth. It's not even my that stinks this week. It's just something that is just unbelievable.
That's probably my favorite segment. Like Big Game Curry Reeves. Like I love that segment. I love the coach's corner. I like all our segments, but
okay, good. I didn't miss it. No, we didn't.
They Stink might be the funniest one. Like I feel like we all got these great segments to this show, and it's a great interactive where we're talking middle school, we're talking high school, we're talking college, we're talking pros. Just the things like I just found out Malcolm Brogdon retired today.
What? Did he really?
Yes, he did.
He's only 32 years old.
Oh, wow.
And he just signed with the Knicks in September.
He signed with the Knicks in September and just retired.
Yep.
Larry's even got a my stink selection. So, well, Larry, I wanted to get your opinion on the chat box too, because Coach, I wanted you in on this 2-pair. Obviously the big news of the weekend was James Franklin being gone. But here's the thing, guys, that I want to bring up that every other show has brought up too.
Think
about this. They were up by 7 in overtime. Had come back from a massive fourth quarter. And, and then to even take it even a step further, a year ago, guys, they were 1 interception away from playing Ohio State for the national championship.
Yeah.
And now you're talking about him gone. And
the buyout is crazy.
$59 million or something.
50.
And then I'm thinking to myself, guys, this is starting to get out of hand because what is the cutoff, because not everybody can win a championship, but the record for him speaks for itself. 1-18 in those type of games, and they hadn't won a conference championship since 2016, from what I understand. And I think that was Saquon's last year when he
Yeah,
was
that was
there.
the Rose Bowl team, right, Curry?
Thank you.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So realistically, if you think about it, they've not done anything, but they did get into the playoff because it expanded. They made some noise in the games in the teams that they played against, and had all these expectations. We looked at their schedule, thought their schedule was ass, but they somehow are now looking at 3-3. And what the hell do they have to play for? And their quarterback, who came back, gets hurt, unfortunately, and you don't even know what his status is going to be for the
He's
NFL
out for the rest
draft.
of the years, and then he's getting ready for the NFL
Yeah, and I
draft.
mean for the NFL draft, like, could he even work out for those people?
That's a good
scouts?
question.
I mean, it was like a nightmare scenario for that kid, for James Franklin. If you're a Penn State Nittany Lion fan right now, it's horrible. And
It
so
is
my
bad.
question to you
It
guys,
is bad.
was it justifiable to fire him? Or can I just throw this out there? What is the criteria right now? And I'm just going to sit back, and I'm curious about everybody's opinion. Chat box, everything. What is the criteria to keep your coach or fire your coach? Because look at this. And I've got a guy that's probably going to be shown the door after this weekend as my next coach. I thought he was going to be the guy 2 weeks ago, but I think he's going to be done this week. I'm going to shut up. You guys talk.
Yeah, I'll let you guys get it.
I think it's I think every coach is a different situation. Franklin was building on this was coming. One way or the other, this was coming.
The writing's been there for a
UCLA
few
lost,
years.
kind of pushed it two ways, but when he lost to Oregon at homecoming, that basically ended it. All those big alumni, all those big donors saw that product on the field. They were tired of it.
Curry, that was homecoming. That was
homecoming.
Their homecoming was that early in the season?
Yeah,
and
there was nobody there, guys. There was nobody there. In fact, when somebody put a clip on TikTok or social media, and literally, guys, when they announced the starting lineup on the scoreboard, UT does it too. And when they said, "Oh, and the head coach of Penn State, James Franklin," they booed him.
Oh, it's like what we did to Bush.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm.
But I'm telling you,
it was really bad.
I learned a long time ago, there are 3 games in college football you have to win. You have to win the first game of the year.
Yep.
You have to win homecoming because that's where that big money comes in.
Yep.
And you got to win that bowl game. Because if you don't win the first 2, there's a good chance you're not going to get to the third one. And you're trouble. And yeah, this was the run extended them. If they had lost, let's just say they lost in the playoff last year. If they had lost the first game, he's probably gone after the first game.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's probably gone. The firing was needed, and every situation is different. Billy Napier might be next.
I say he's gone.
This weekend,
I've heard rumors that Napier's gone by the end of the weekend.
He's gone.
Their schedule is a murderer's row.
If he doesn't get this one, he's out.
Yeah.
Their schedule.
There's rumblings that no matter what happens this weekend, he's done.
That's what I've heard too.
Yeah. Well, and I've also heard there's another game, talking about, I've got the top 25 results at the bottom. To pair when you came in, we were talking about games that surprised us last weekend. Obviously, Texas, Oklahoma,
Colorado, and
Oregon.
Iowa State.
Yeah, Colorado, Iowa State. I'm glad you mentioned that one.
Because
the USC game. I wanted you to talk about.
Are you guys even interested?
Yeah.
I was.
And I was interested, and I thought USC would win close because of that game going over there. But
I did too.
Michigan was just walloped by USC.
I did not expect that to happen to Michigan. I didn't expect that to happen. Like, it just was some games on the schedule where I asked you guys last week, and I was like, are we even interested in seeing Iowa State go into Colorado? Because Colorado has just been an up and down. They don't know what quarterback.
And with Deion's health problems, unfortunately, you didn't know if he was.
And I think that's what that was Saturday. Was an emotional rallying around Deion and got that win. Because you could see how emotional Deion was after that game and how emotional those guys were.
And he didn't give a crap that they rushed the field. He said he'd pay the damn fine. He didn't care. He was happy for them. They needed something.
With the current firings going on and potential ones do you see him making a move after this season?
Somebody's
I
going to
don't
get him.
know.
If
don't
his
know,
health
Somebody's
man.
gonna get
allows it, if his
if it
health
health
allows
allows.
Colorado is so invested in him.
Yeah.
Like I've never seen a coach. He's turned Colorado into a main attraction though.
Yep.
Like they're on TV. He's
Mm-hmm.
bringing that visibility.
Mm-hmm.
He's bringing the credibility with the coaching staff. Like let's remember like how much experience of NFL experience
Is
those
on that
guys have
sideline.
that is on the sideline. Whereas there's a difference where you've got a guy who we think is a mastermind college football coach, but he gets to North Carolina and you realize, man, you really are a shell of what you used to be because
Mm-hmm.
we kind of
Mm-hmm.
noticed what it was after TB12 is not the same, is not the
Yep.
guy behind center. So we're
Mm-hmm.
seeing it play out in real time with a lot of these college coaches where you're seeing them get fired. You're starting to see it not become it's not the college game anymore. The college
Exactly.
game is semi-pro football.
Yep.
It
It
is.
is semi-pro with NCAA attachments.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, for sure. Well, and I'll tell you another game too. So we're talking about these games that stood out to us last week. I mean, we've not mentioned it and so forth, but with how a weekend like that went, I'm just grateful Tennessee won, guys. I mean, and,
Yeah, I
and we
am
could
too.
have
I
expected
am too.
Arkansas was going to play for Petrino. Petrino is a coach's coach. There's certain guys that have guys that just play out for them,
Yeah.
that would die on their sword for their coach. Ed
Mm-hmm.
Orgeron was another one that they
Yeah.
may
Mm-hmm.
not be that like great flashy thing, but I'm gonna tell you this: they get the most out of their guys, and I'm gonna
I
tell
got
you.
cocky with
Go
my
ahead.
pick last week
They
towards the
do.
end because originally I said this was going to be a trap game,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
and
just
Mm-hmm.
thought Tennessee would do better. Like, I just thought with a week preparation and everything, but I was just grateful to get the damn win when it was all said and done. So,
yeah.
Hey, the SEC is going to be a gauntlet, man. There
yep.
is
Oh
nothing
yeah.
easy in the SEC. There's not one thing easy. And I'll tell you what, Joey Aguilar played very well. Deshaun Bishop, I think we're just seeing the makings of a superstar because
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I thought that the
that
running game
kid
was good.
ran.
Yeah,
He couldn't
Man,
be
did he, man.
touched.
From the local kid who was a walk who
Who was a walk on?
was originally committed to another school till that coach
Yep.
got hired somewhere else. It's like, hey, I'll
Mm-hmm.
take the Tennessee offer. Hey, well, we'll make you a walk on, and now you're a starting running back in the SEC, and you're dominating ever since you've been out there.
And he's the second leading rusher in the SEC.
Yep.
Has a
Yeah.
chance to be the top it by the end of the season and probably be offensive player of the year if Tennessee does what I believe they're going to do.
I think
I,
he's got a good chance. I
I
just
think he's
wish
got a
the
very
wide
good chance.
receivers. My bad, James. I wish
oh no, you're fine. No, no.
I wish there was ways they would have got the. I wish we'd have got the ball to Brazel more.
They double covered him all day long, man.
Man, they were like everywhere on him.
Staley
Another
had a
thing,
great day.
Staley
yeah,
was freshman,
Staley
SEC
had
freshman of the week.
He had a
SEC
great
freshman
day.
of the week.
Mm-hmm. He had a great day.
Yeah, I just wish they were able to impose their will a little bit more, James. Like it was just Arkansas. I don't know what it is about Tennessee versus Arkansas.
There's certain
It's just
teams.
never a good matchup.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, and I've got one this week when we do predictions. There's one this week that I've got that's on my radar, unfortunately. But
Mhm.
I'm going to tell you this right now, because Shane brought up something about Billy Napier. Larry brought up Mike Norvell, and I know
Oh,
that
Yeah.
that's
Norvell,
near and
yeah.
dear to your heart with Florida State two pair. But here's my question, because there's another game that I wanted to talk about that nobody even realized was going on, and I'm watching these other games, and I'm like, why is this game so damn close? Like, and it was a ridiculous spread. The Ole Miss Washington State game.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I want you to hear this.
Yeah.
Ole Miss was a 34-point favorite. Ole Miss has been awful this year to bet with or bet
Mhm.
against.
Yeah,
Like,
you don't
stay
want to do
away
it.
from them.
Stay
Yeah.
away from them.
But
Yeah.
Kiffin's comments at the end of the game, he criticized the spoiled fans for not showing up to their game last week. And, they're in the Grove against Washington State. And, Shane, you mentioned Billy Napier. I've heard that the Gators, their top choice is Lane Kiffin. And
Yeah,
that
I've
could
heard the same thing.
really make
Yeah.
some dominoes fall there. And so this is kind of a two-part question. Florida gets rid of Sunbelt Billy, like what Larry said, and Florida, and if Kiffin's already using that as the out the door of why he's leaving Ole Miss, why should I stay here when I can't even get fans to show up? And you've got that atmosphere down there in the swamp. I don't want to admit it, guys, but it's the truth. That's a hell of a combination. Does that put pressure on Florida State to put the axe to Norvell? Because here you've just lost your third straight game.
Yep.
You haven't won an ACC game, something EJ Manuel said in over 400 days. That's
385.
I mean, that's ludicrous right now. I
don't know what's going, like, you want to say that the Seminoles are back, but it's not that.
Could that have been a Miami hangover too? Like, I mean, they put a lot into that game. It was an emotional game, and then
I think it's a Virginia hangover. I think it's a Virginia hangover.
Yeah. The Virginia game did it because that was the game where you say, okay, you finally can win a conference game, and then you lose them, and then we've seen Virginia those last 2 years look like a very, very bad football team until now. And if you saw those Tennessee team that played Virginia didn't even look like they were supposed to be on that.
Exactly.
Team. Yeah. And that was an 8-4, 8-5 Tennessee team, right? That was like an 8-4, 8-5 Tennessee team, and that Virginia team looked like they shouldn't have been on the field.
Yep.
And now you see a Virginia team that went through all those struggles. I mean, they had players getting killed on their team, like. Literally,
and they stuck with their coach.
And they stuck with him.
They stuck with him.
Yeah,
because a lot of times you thought that he was gonna get fired. My bad, James. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're fine. No, keep talking, Tuber. I just wanted you guys' thoughts of what Larry thought of his predictions. I mean, let me tell you something. If you see Cincinnati go to Florida State, I would be shaking as a Miami fan with that guy. Cincinnati going from Indiana to Florida State.
I don't see him leaving Indiana because he's got it made. He's got it made.
I hope he stays in Indiana.
I don't think he does either.
I don't want him in
I think if he got a big win. He's not Kurt Ferentz anymore. No disrespect to Kurt Ferentz.
Oh yeah.
But name the last time that Kurt Ferentz had won a major.
It's been a while.
That's all I'm saying. So let's look at Cincinnati. Cincinnati's his marquee win is going to be that Oregon game.
Yep.
That is a marquee win because you won in Autzen. You didn't win in Bloomington.
18-game winning streak snapped. 18 home game winning streak snapped.
And Dan Lanning was 22-1 at home.
Exactly.
Yep.
So we're giving you these facts and information on Rebels with a Cause because we're giving you the stats, we're giving you the numbers, we're letting you know the details of that team that's been under Dan Lanning has been that good at home where Cincinnati comes in, they get that marquee win. That's a signature win. Now he's got something to stamp on. But with the Carey's point, why would you leave what you're already like?
He's got it made.
Like you got it made.
Yeah. Well, and I'll tell you this:
17-2 at Indiana. The only two losses: the eventual national champion Ohio State and Notre Dame.
The runner-up. I mean, are you kidding me? Well, Shane, let me just ask you this real quick because Penn State, I've been hearing the name Matt Rule. What the hell has Matt Rule done that's such a sexier name to get him from Nebraska? And then, Larry mentions Al Golden. Now, let me just tell you something about Al Golden. Maybe he didn't do well at Miami, but Al Golden is a Penn State guy. His defense was phenomenal at Notre Dame. He's now in the pros as a defensive coordinator. Is that a sexy name? Is that Penn State wants one of their people to come on? I agree with you, Two-Pair. You're shaking your head. I agree with you.
No.
What would make Penn State happy? And I hear that they have the money to do it.
Oh, they got the money to do it. They got big money.
To do it. They got the money to do it. It's with Al Golden. When Al Golden was at Miami, what was all those sanctions still there?
He had come right when the Nevin Shapiro scandal came out, and then not to mention, it's not that he was a bad coach, per se. He just couldn't fire his best friend, who was a horrendous defensive coordinator by the name of Mark D'Onofrio. He was nicknamed Dorito by Miami fans. I mean, he had a playbook and he flipped it. I mean, he was just an idiot. And if he had just fired his best friend and gotten a competent defensive coordinator, because you talk about the Quanzo Martin years at Tennessee, there's a lot of Miami players that were pros from that team that maybe it wasn't good on paper, but they did very good in the pros and are still playing in the pros, offensive linemen especially from those teams. So it's just crazy that Golden didn't near have the money being spent or the resources that Mario Cristobal has at the moment.
I'll
So
tell you
I
a
don't
name.
view that as for Al Golden at Miami. So
I'll
yeah.
tell you that a name for the Penn State job that I'm hearing, and he's a former defensive coordinator at Penn State, Manny Diaz.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. And
Manny Diaz.
and we're
He's
gonna
at
talk
Duke
about
right
that
now.
kid.
I can see him making the jump from Duke up to Penn State because that's big money. That's
They
big
loved him.
money.
I've seen
They loved
Duke
him.
players even post on Twitter like, "Do not come after our coach."
Exactly. For
Yeah.
that reason, because they know he's a hot commodity.
Yeah, and I know that Manny didn't do well in Miami, and realistically, I think that
He tried though.
he tried.
He did
really
try.
And he's probably twice the coach that he is now, because guess what? He went to Penn State. He knows defense. Now he's at a place
Yeah.
like Duke. He should have taken the Temple job, learned there, and then maybe come back to Miami when he had some experience on him. You just don't go
Yeah.
to a place like that when you have no head coaching
Yep.
experience. You just
No,
don't.
he wasn't experienced enough as a head coach to be in a place like Coral Gables at that time, man.
Yeah.
But what he's doing at Duke, I mean,
Oh,
Mike Elko leaving
Yep.
Duke, going to Texas A&M, and you fitting right in there. Like, Duke is a hard place to win. You
Yes,
can
it
only
is.
name 4 coaches that were successful at Duke: Cutcliffe, Spurrier, Elko, and Diaz.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
it.
Right now.
Yeah, for right now. And
Right
now,
now.
and they've got a big one at noon that we're going to pick with Georgia Tech. You know, Georgia Tech's kind of on upset alert going to Duke
How
at
good
noon.
has Georgia Tech been this
Haynes
year,
King,
though?
man, is a
Like,
beast. He is a beast of a guy. So
quarterback
yeah,
play and a stingy defense. And I look back to that Wake Forest game. That was a game where a game by inches where they win. You look at that.
controversial call. Yeah.
2 years ago, Georgia Tech loses that game.
Yes.
That's how far
Yes.
they've come in 2 years. 2 years ago, they lose that game.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
how far they've come.
Yeah.
And we play them next year in Atlanta. We knew we were going to get them pretty decent. That's going to be a big time matchup with them in Atlanta next year.
They're very well coached.
Big
by
time.
Duke.
Very well coached. Georgia Tech with Genesee and
Well,
Georgia
you know
Tech.
what?
That's
I
big
feel
time
like
next year.
That's one of those games that it's a barometer of where Tennessee is, where Georgia Tech is.
Yep.
But it would have kind of been like that in the 90s, early 2000s. Like it's what we call a barometer game.
Yep.
Is a test. Were you compared to the ACC with their talent compared to our talent in the SEC?
Agreed.
Guys, can I ask you a question real quick? Two things that I can leave this up, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to transition from the scores from last week to the big ones this week or what have you very quickly. I think it would segue. I want to ask you guys, is Indiana for real? Can they go up against Ohio State? Because they don't play in the regular season. It looks like both teams are on course for a collision course in the Big Ten championship, with both teams probably making the playoffs. But my question is, could Indiana hang with them? And also, talking about the bad calls in big games, this Georgia-Auburn game, Georgia right now is very lucky to be with the record that they have, because they should have 3 losses and not even be in this conversation right now. And the only
Preaching
reason
to
that
the choir.
and of course I'm going to segue into the Ole Miss game, where game day is going to be live from 3:30 kickoff in the afternoon as a prelude into our game being the nightcap. But my question to you is this: which team really is going to, put themselves in a great position? Is it going to be the Ole Miss Rebels or Georgia? Because realistically, Tennessee should have beaten Georgia, and I think Auburn was good enough to win last week. If that touchdown stands going into that halftime, I don't know if Georgia can do it.
To me, the game's over. If that touchdown was counted, it would have been 17-0. To me, the game's over because Georgia only had 20 yards.
Yep.
Up to that point. and they were out of it. You just look at them and tell they needed something miraculous to happen, because if that goes up 17, game's over.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm in total agreement with that.
And we'll
I
get
don't
into the
even know.
Kirby Smart deal too after
I don't know
later
how
on.
I don't know how they keep doing it. It is something with that team that they either are resilient or they find ways to win that you wouldn't even expect them to do in the circumstances that they're handed.
All the above.
Like
With a
every
little
time we
help
look
from
at
the refs.
a little bit.
A little bit, and championship experience. They got that championship DNA, man.
Yep.
They've been in big games. They know what it takes. Here's another big game on Saturday.
Yeah.
Ole Miss, Lane's coming to town.
Yeah.
Those kids have played in big games.
Lane wants a piece of that.
Well, and what do we guys think about that matchup? Because look, I've got the matchups coming on. I put the big ones. Not all the top 25 are there. I've got the big ones that are going to be showcased on the television. I mean, you've got LSU, Vanderbilt, you've got A&M going to Arkansas. A&M's on the road for the next 3 weeks, so we're going to learn a lot more about A&M. But you know how I've sung their praises, and Elko can coach, and we've talked about Ruben
Elko can
Owens
really
and
coach.
Reed.
Elko can coach, man.
Their
Elko's a
offense
hell
is
of a coach.
phenomenal. So yes,
Because
I mean,
Texas A&M, their schedule has been rough as well. Like the Notre Dame game kind of let me know that they're for real.
Oh
like,
yeah, me too.
Notre Dame's a hell of a football team.
And look where they're at. I mean, even with the 2 losses to Miami and said
they're
Texas
13
A&M,
in the country.
they're 13, and they've got a very dangerous USC team coming, and that's another game going on Saturday night opposite our game against Alabama.
And it might be the last time they play each other for a while.
Yes.
USC Notre Dame?
Yeah. They were talking about ending the series.
Yeah.
Because of the way college football is changing, everybody's starting to schedule. The Big Ten's going to play 9 games, so they're going to start scheduling less. But yeah, this could be the last time they see each other.
Wow, that's interesting.
And what I'm going to tell you,
I grew up on USC and Notre Dame. Those are one of the games in my childhood you grow up on.
Oh, man.
It's funny that you mentioned that, Kerry, too, because speaking of the 9-game schedule, I was waiting for this to happen, and the shoe actually dropped 2 weeks ago, low key, while everybody was talking about the Miami-Florida State match. One of the things that involved Miami is that South Carolina and them had a home and home for the next 2 years. They have dropped that. They've dropped that. They are no longer playing each other because the SEC is going to 9 games, and now the ACC is going to 9 games. And I was looking forward to going to Columbia to see the Canes next year because that's only a 4-hour drive. Now that ain't going to happen. I've got to pivot and find another game to go to
That's
next
one
year.
of my favorite rides,
Should they
man.
extend the college? Should they extend the college? Like,
it's going to 16 in 2 years.
Yeah. Okay.
The playoffs going to 16 teams in 2 years. When this contract runs out, they renew the next one, and it's going to be 16 teams.
But you know what? I feel like it's going to end up to be 24 teams.
Yeah, it could end up somewhere in that area.
Because now you're going to create. This is about the equivalent or the closest thing to March Madness because they're not. The CFB wishes it had what March Madness had.
Exactly.
Because I think in our lifetime, there may have been a few times where there were the eventual national champions, like in college basketball. Like what we called the UConn teams, what the UConn Invitational.
Yep.
For those 2 years.
Yeah, that tournament 2 years ago was
It was a joke. It was literally, you knew what UConn did the year before, and then you knew what they had coming back.
And there was nobody bad enough to stop them.
No, it was nobody. You saw what they were going to be in, and got a lot of guys drafted as well. But you look at the CFB, there's not a ton of upset games in there.
No,
that you saw. There wasn't a lot of it was it held true to form.
Yeah, everything went basically except for and there was just some teams that were misseeded. To me, there were a lot of teams misseeded in last year that now they're going to get it right.
Yeah,
it's no longer the 4 top conference champions have a bye. It's going to be the 4 best teams will get
the 4
bye.
best teams in the
and
country.
That's how it should have been last year.
Yeah, not the 4 conference champions.
Go ahead, Shane.
Some of the football we got last year was just garbage in that first round.
Exactly.
Man, horrible football.
And some of the matchups, if they had done last year, like they were going to do this year, Tennessee would have had a home game against Indiana in the first round.
Yep. And
really?
probably they
Tennessee would've had
somehow get
Indiana?
Miami in there with Cam Ward just to get that
Yep.
excitement. Not saying Miami would have made noise, but you get Cam Ward in the playoffs or whatever.
Yep.
somehow.
I just wish they did not lose to Syracuse. Like there was so many factors in
That's
it. Like
atrocious.
Exactly.
if they don't
That
have
game,
that loss, Tennessee doesn't have the loss to Arkansas. Like there's so many variables
there were so many.
in that season last year. But we got what we got.
We did.
You know,
We did.
Who would expected Ohio State to win the national championship if they lost to Ohio?
And they looked like dog crap against Michigan. I mean, they looked horrible.
They looked horrible.
They did not look like the national champions.
No.
Like I remember I told Shane, I was like, "You mean to tell me that this Ohio State team beat Tennessee?"
Yeah.
Like, I just didn't.
I honestly think, guys, them losing to Michigan was Tennessee's worst nightmare. If Ohio State
that was the worst thing that could have happened.
I think Ohio State feels really good about themselves, and I honestly don't think even Tennessee meets Ohio State in that first round game.
If we
I
don't
think
lose to Arkansas
we
last
get like
year,
a Notre Dame or an Indiana in the first round or something like that. Instead.
If we don't lose to Arkansas last year, we're playing for the SEC title.
Exactly.
And there's a chance
they're playing
win.
In a rematch against
with
Georgia. And if Beck gets hurt, that's a whole different game at that point. Just like what happened with Texas. So
exactly.
What do y'all think about what Larry said? Ole Miss loses to Georgia, and then
that would not
LSU
surprise
and
me.
Georgia pick a road dogs. What do you guys think about those three games in particular? So
I think that happens. I think Ole Miss does. I don't see Ole Miss beating.
I think it's a close game, but I don't see Ole Miss beating them either.
They beat a very good LSU team, and LSU, for some reason, I just don't think Brian Kelly's for me, I just don't think it's a marriage that can last long. But maybe I'm wrong.
I'm picking Vanderbilt this week. I think Pavia and Vanderbilt at home.
I am picking Vanderbilt.
That game.
LSU.
Mm-hmm.
That's another name that could be possible for Penn State.
I think Vanderbilt wins by 10 points over LSU on Saturday. I believe that. So, yeah.
But
that's another name to watch out for Penn State.
There because
Brian Kelly.
I think he ran go to Penn State.
Do we think Brian Kelly has won big games at LSU?
Nope.
In prime time.
Because that Clemson game's not even a good win anymore.
No, that Clemson win's trash.
Has he beaten Alabama?
Nope.
Yeah, no, he did beat him.
He did beat him.
Yeah, he
2022, he did beat him.
He beat Alabama.
And that was 3 weeks after.
That was
2 weeks after we beat Bama.
He hasn't beat Georgia.
We beat them by 27 down at their place. We
stopped them in that first quarter.
Yeah.
He was the coach.
Was he the coach when Hendon Hooker went crazy?
It was his first year.
Yeah, we smoked them.
So
at LSU.
I'm just the way the coaches are getting fired. I'm not saying he's on the hot seat or anything. But
I would.
Does he embody LA? So you think he's on the hot seat?
Mm-hmm.
Possibly, yeah.
Brian Kelly's on the hot
seat. I think LSU would be fine parting ways with him.
Yeah.
Giving everything that surrounded him also.
Yeah. Well, and the only thing is they just need to make sure that whoever they do bring in can keep that number one recruiting class together. That's the only thing. But, also remember what Larry said last week on the show, his comments, very controversial when it came to, what's come out about the Lacey, being cleared and everything.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
So that's something too that might be in the background that needs to be kept an eye on. And if they lose to Vanderbilt, I mean, LSU's schedule is only going to get tougher from here on out. I mean, so that's the thing. So.
They don't play any cupcakes.
Yeah. They still got Alabama. Yeah, they got
Texas A&M, OU.
Also, yep.
Arkansas, who could still be playing tough for Petrino to get bowl eligible, just to keep him as their guy a little bit longer. Yeah, I mean,
Texas A&M, that Bama, Texas A&M and Bama. Let's stay right there. Thank you, Larry Frank.
Yep.
Let's stay right there. With Texas A&M, the way they've played, is that game played in Death Valley?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, because A&M has to go on the road the next 3 weeks. They got Arkansas this week and then LSU. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or is that to be announced? It's not we know if it's a night game or
Oh, I think it's to be announced. It's on
To
that
be
SEC
announced.
window, yeah, based on these
Okay,
week's results. Yeah.
so in retrospect, it could be
A
a
night
flex game but if it's a night game,
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about LSU and these night games in Death Valley. It's a different animal.
Mm-hmm.
Different animal. If that game is a noon or 3:30 game, I like Texas A&M.
Yeah.
That's a night game on the 25th with them and LSU.
It's
I
already
like
been announced?
LSU.
Okay,
Yep,
so it's already
7:30 on ABC.
Oh, well, there you go. It's already, yeah, it's a trap game for 4 a.m.
It is
so
a trap game, but
Because
I
Tennessee plays
want
Kentucky
A&M
at
to win that
7:45
game,
on
though.
the SEC network.
I would like to see A&M. I just think, man, LSU, it has the facilities, it's got the tradition, it's had the players, the school, the campus, like it's immaculate, right?
Yep.
But I just don't feel like he embodies at school, man. I just don't. I don't feel like as much as I wish Ed Orgeron was still coaching there, that was an embodiment of LSU.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even the Mad Hatter, Les Miles, that was the embodiment of LSU.
Yep.
And I agree with Larry Frank. He'll be back coaching next year. Ed Orgeron will be back coaching somewhere next year. I really believe that.
Arkansas.
That wouldn't surprise me a bit.
Yeah.
That would
I
not
don't know,
surprise
man.
me.
I think they
Because
might ride it.
he can recruit LSU like crazy. He could recruit Louisiana like crazy. It gives him. He's right there in the same backyard.
And Texas.
Yep. Give him his region in the SEC.
Yep.
I wonder if Dan Mullen comes back to the SEC.
Yes. What he's
Dan
doing
Mullen,
at UNLV,
I
could
like
see
what
that
he's
going
doing
too.
Yep.
Hey,
That's a
UNLV
dangerous
could-
coach right there. Florida shouldn't have gotten rid of him. Look what they're doing.
UNLV could be the team from the group of 12. If they go undefeated and win the Mountain West, they could be the group of 12, the group of 5 in the playoff.
Look, Florida should have never got rid of him because in that time frame, I want what Florida has had 5 coaches.
Yep. They're going through what we went through.
They went through
Coaches every 3 years.
Yeah.
That's Dan Mullen.
Then before him was McElwain, the one that was
McElwain.
Yeah.
McElwain. Sorry,
yeah.
McElwain. Am I missing somebody?
Muschamp.
I said Muschamp.
Muschamp.
Urban before Muschamp.
Urban.
So
Urban before Muschamp.
Urban Dan, or did it go Muschamp Dan? It was
Urban, Muschamp, then McElwain, then Mullen.
Now
and
they
now
Mississippi
Billy
State.
Napier. Yeah.
And before that, you had Zook before Urban Meyer.
That's
Urban
right.
Meyer.
And then Spurrier.
Right after,
Right after Spurrier.
Because Zook was the defensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
He was the defensive coordinator. And was Stoops the defensive coordinator after Zook?
No, Bob Stoops was the offensive coordinator.
Bob was the offensive coordinator.
And then he took the Oklahoma job.
He took the Oklahoma job.
Yeah.
So I want to say he took the Oklahoma job after the national title.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's right. Okay.
This is a take by Larry. If Lane goes to Florida, Orgeron might go back to Oxford.
That wouldn't surprise me a bit. Him going back to Ole Miss. Muschamp, McElwain, Urban, Billy. Then the Mullen, then Billy. And before that,
Shane, what do you think? LSU, Vanderbilt, Ole Miss, Georgia. Who? I mean, we'll do picks here in a little bit, but either of those games, what stands out for you in that? I mean,
probably feel like Vanderbilt takes it to LSU.
I think so. I mean, yeah.
Vanderbilt takes it to LSU.
I want to see how they respond because 2 weeks ago they lost to Alabama. I want to see how Vanderbilt responds.
Yeah, and that was a good game between them and Bama.
Exactly.
The score was misleading.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ole Miss, Georgia. The blueprint's there to beat Georgia. I think Lane takes advantage of it.
Can that quarterback keep the role that he is on going? Because
yeah. He's doing it more with his legs than he is his arm.
Yeah.
I mean,
but can Ole Miss's quarterback, Simmons, it's Simmons' kid.
Yeah.
If they can't stop him, it's a long day for them.
Were they just looking ahead? Is that why they looked like such ass against Washington State? Because that's not even a good football team. The Huskies pummeled them in the Apple Cup a few weeks
I think they were looking ahead to them.
LSU Vandy take the under. Nussmeier
Yeah.
has a sports hernia, and dumbass Brian Kelly's
Yep.
playing him
He's gonna
hurt.
play
Yeah,
him
he's
hurt.
an idiot.
Yeah.
An idiot.
That's what I'm
That guy doesn't
saying,
care about
man.
his kids. That guy
No.
I
doesn't
don't.
care about
Nope.
his kids.
I just don't know. I won't speak any bad will to anybody named Brian, because my name's Brian.
Well,
I
I,
won't
I,
speak.
I will for James Franklin, but no, I love poor
Nah,
James Franklin. He's probably a
I
good
like
man.
it.
So
It's
I will
just
speak all the hate on Shane Beamer.
Yeah.
oh, that's
He
funny.
sucks. I mean,
Nah,
Yeah.
I like
he
Shane
should just move
Beamer.
to Blacksburg. Go ahead, Two Pair.
Nah, I like. You know what? No, like because one day we may have these coaches on here, so I got to be
Mhm.
cognizant. I got to be cognizant of that. But I don't know if Brian. I don't know how he's been handling this in a way like the sound bites are crazy.
Tell me about it, man.
Like,
Yep, Larry Coker. Yep.
oh man,
It's true.
Larry Coker.
Yep.
But it's just it just perplexes me, man. It really does with the way you've got everything in place at LSU.
Hmm.
You left Notre Dame
For this.
for
Yeah.
this.
For all this.
I'd
And you
argue
know
Notre
how
Dame's
good you
doing
gotta
better
know.
with Marcus Freeman.
Oh,
They
yeah, they
love
are.
him. Those kids play for him hard. So, yep.
Notre Dame looks like the Lou Holtz era with Marcus Freeman.
Yep.
Now I'm
Like
telling you what,
you know what I mean? Look,
the
They are.
NFL wants him bad. The NFL wants Marcus Freeman bad. That's the only move he makes. If he
Yeah,
leaves Notre Dame, it's to the
yeah.
NFL because the NFL wants him bad.
Yeah.
Because man, Notre Dame, is, like there is some jobs where the prestige in football weighs it out. Like the Notre
Mhm.
Dame job,
Yep.
the prestigious job. USC job is still a
USC.
prestige job. The Ohio State is a prestigious job. At one point, Florida State was a prestigious job. You know
I
what I'm
think it still can be, and I'm not going to
It
be a
still
hater.
can
I'm
be.
not going to be a hater as a Kane fan.
But
I
like
still think
Florida,
it can be Two Pair.
how is
So,
Florida
yeah.
like this? Florida,
Yeah.
the talent level, you can't tell me that Florida is got to this point, but that shows culture, coaches, environment. Like when Miami guys recruit Miami, they recruit Miami guys. When Tennessee recruits Tennessee, they recruit Tennessee guys. You can tell by the level of guys that are coming here, they understand the brand. If you don't
Mhm.
understand the brand, that's where college sports is going into now. It is about the brand, and it's about, hey, look, we're playing on Saturdays. We're getting all the revenue from every commercial.
Mhm. NBC. They got that NBC money, man.
We got that NBC money.
Do you know Larry did bring up something that I forgot about? Kelly was a desperate hire because if you guys remember,
Yep.
LSU was thinking they were going to get Lincoln Riley, and Lincoln Riley
Went to
like
USC.
this and went to USC instead or whatever.
Because he didn't want to coach in the SEC because he knew Oklahoma was about to be an SEC team, and he did
he
not
didn't
want to
none
coach
of
in
the
the
SEC.
SEC.
He made the smart move.
He made the run as quick as he could.
Yeah.
And we all knew that was going to happen.
But if Lincoln Riley was at LSU, oh man, you
Yeah.
want to talk about like the
They'd be hell.
defenses he would have to see on a week-to-week basis. Like you're seeing the mini NFL when you're
And he would
watching
have had
the
Caleb
SEC.
Williams with him his first 2 years at LSU. Think about Caleb Williams in the SEC his first 2 years.
Well,
He wouldn't have been the number one pick.
Although I still believe this. The only reason that Caleb Williams won a Heisman that year is because Hendon Hooker got hurt in South Carolina.
That's probably true.
If Hendon Hooker doesn't get hurt, he wins the Heisman Trophy. I have no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, because he would have beaten South Carolina, and then they would have smoked Vanderbilt. Because remember, Joe Milton had a career day against that Vanderbilt team.
They beat Clemson in the bowl game.
Yeah,
they ended up 11-2.
Yep.
If he doesn't get hurt, he wins the Heisman Trophy because at that point he was ahead. He was the top guy in all the odds, all the poll, everybody.
Hendon Hooker would have won the Heisman.
Hendon Hooker would have won the Heisman.
Yeah, because he would have padded those stats against Vanderbilt. Because Joe Milton had a career day
against
Vanderbilt.
He had
that would have been Hendon that would have had that game.
We think Now this is an interesting story. This is interesting now.
Yes.
Hendon Hooker.
Because he had the best moment of the year. The whole
Alabama
country
game.
got to see him. Yes, the Alabama game. He
The
outperformed.
Alabama game would have been that's quintessentially his nation's game.
Yep, because he
Okay.
outperformed Bryce Young,
who was the
won
Heisman.
Yep.
So he would have won. Okay, he would have been in de facto.
Yeah.
Damn, that's good stuff, man.
Larry's got another good take. It takes a special type of coach to be in the SEC. Cannot argue that. Kelly isn't it. I think LSU buys out Dan Lanning after they fire Kelly.
I can
Lanning
see that.
and Lanning can keep that #1 recruiting class.
That's going to be hard, though, because he's got that Nike money. He got that Nike money.
He ain't turning down the Nike money.
You can't turn down that Nike money.
That Nike money ridiculous.
Tell me about it.
Can I ask you guys something? So here's a scenario for you, and I'm going to go just a step with another game going on same night, to Saturday night. You got USC at Notre Dame. Okay, now here's the thing. I thought that Miami and Texas A&M were like our hope of Notre Dame not being able to get into the playoff. But here's the thing is Miami and A&M keep winning. Those losses aren't that bad because they lost by a combined 4 points. If Notre Dame beats USC on Saturday night, which is a good possibility, the rest of Notre Dame's schedule is trash, guys. I mean,
thanks to USC winning games, the only game really that they looked bad in was the Illinois game.
Yeah.
USC has won out, has done their job.
They have.
They're now number 20.
Jay Maivia is a really good quarterback if nobody's even seen him yet. Jay Maivia can play.
That is going to be a fun football game with him and CJ Carr. You're looking at NFL futures with those two guys right then and there because those two guys are studs. That's going to be a fun football game.
I love this discussion right now because not only are we talking about the games and the implications, but now coaches have become the forefront. And we're not the only ones talking about it, guys. These are the stories that are on the national shows that are getting more hype than the damn games themselves at this point. I've not seen it.
I got another name for you to watch out in the coaching cycle. He's the wide receiver coach at Ohio State, Brian Hartline. Have you seen the wide receivers he's put in the NFL in the last 7 years?
Yeah.
Man, those dudes have been
6 of those are first-round picks.
Like the
guys, Ibuka, the kid in Tampa.
So, yeah, you got Seattle, Tampa Bay. That's 2. You got Harrison Jr. in Arizona. Am I forgetting about Chris Olave? New Orleans. Am I thinking about Garrett Wilson?
And Garrett Wilson in the Jets. All of them were first-round picks, and he recruited every single one of them.
And he's got another one in Jeremiah Smith already on the roster.
Who may be a top 5 pick when it's all said and done.
You know where I've heard his name be associated with? If the Beamer thing doesn't happen, Virginia Tech. VT wants him or Golish right now from USF. USF is looking
Maryland, DC, Virginia, Pennsylvania. He's already got a pipeline in Ohio. He would kill it. He would take over the Northeast.
And the ACC is easier to win. I mean, that's the other thing, too. Some of these coaches need to kind of look at it, because realistically, we look at the SEC, and Larry's point, Alabama fans are crying because Miami, Ohio State, and Indiana don't have any ranked teams left, and they do.
That's not their fault. Not their fault.
I mean, and speaking of Miami got through their ranked teams. I mean, Alabama, now you are in who you got to play.
Alabama might want to worry about Saturday night.
I think
they need to worry about Saturday night because I got news for you. Saturday night's going to be a war. Hypo, if this is the year, any year that they could go down there and beat them, this would be it.
This is it. Well, and guess what?
We shit the bed on 2 years ago.
Well, and here's my tidbit. Here's my tidbit, by the way. Now who has the longest nation's home winning streak? It's Alabama with 12 games, by the way. So I believe.
And every streak has been broken this year.
That streak is going down Saturday night by the Vols. So
if you notice that every home winning streak has been broken.
Yep.
And it started with Tennessee. Had a 14-game home winning streak. Georgia knocked them. Oregon, Penn State. I'm telling you, home streak's about to go bye-bye, and I think Saturday night is another possible indication that another home winning streak is about to go bye-bye.
Larry posed a question to all of us. Am I wrong for buying into the hype of Miami and Ohio State being on a collision course in January? I think
Ooh.
if both teams can stay healthy,
Yeah,
on
that's going to be
paper,
the key.
yes. On paper, yes. But, injuries happen, weird stuff happens, calls. I believe that they are on a collision course, but again, Miami needs to show me something Friday night because that's the game that worries me for Miami. You guys talked about there's certain teams that just give problems. Arkansas with Tennessee, Louisville has been a thorn in Miami's
Mhm.
side. And here's something really interesting for you guys. More times than not, Louisville has beaten Miami in Miami and beaten Louisville in Louisville. And 2 years ago, Louisville beat Miami in Miami. Last year, Miami beat Louisville and needed every touchdown from Cam Ward to do it because their defense couldn't stop them. This year, Miami has a defense. Miami should win that game. But at the same time, it's that ACC Friday spooky night thing. I hope
And
I'm wrong, but
Jeff
Miami.
Brom's a hell of a coach too.
Exactly. And there's
He's
a
a
lot of
hell of a coach.
Louisville guys from South Florida that are coming home to show out. And so the thing is, that worries me to an extent. But if Miami comes out and really wants to prove that they've taken a step as the program that I want them to take, they take care of business and win that game
Mhm.
and cover the 13 and a half. That will show me Miami's matured. That's what will show me as a Canes fan. Go ahead, guys. Your thoughts.
I would buy into the hype a little bit, but there's still a ton of football that left to
There
be
is.
played. Anything can happen.
Yeah, yeah. But I guess my question to you guys is Notre Dame with 2 losses. Let's say they beat USC. Do they get a playoff spot?
If they run the table, yes.
They'll get one because of who they are. They'll stay
I
ranked.
think they get one who because of they are they run the table, but
Yes.
the 2 losses they had were not bad loss. You know what I
No.
mean? Like
4 points.
they weren't blowouts, guys. They weren't,
Yeah, what by 4 points combined.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, they dog walked NC State last week. I
Mhm.
mean, I looked at that 24-point spread and I
That
was
was
like,
very
"Ah."
impressive. That
And then
was
they
very
won
impressive.
34-7. They covered. They covered the 24. I mean, so yeah.
I'll tell you the scary team I'm keeping my eye on. Texas Tech scares the bejeebus
I'm
out of me, man.
so glad you
They
mentioned them,
may
Carrie.
have the complete package.
And there's nobody in the Big 12 that can stop them. I
They
mean,
may have
they're
the
the
complete
only
package.
team that has
Yeah,
not
they may
been
have the
down
complete package.
all season long. They are the only team that has not been
Mhm.
down all season long. That's
They
impressive. I
play
don't care who you
defense
are.
that travels. They got a quarterback that doesn't really make mistakes. He's mobile. He's got a good arm, but their defense travels. Their defense travels and they're physical and they will hit the crap out of you.
Yeah. And I just don't think that, I mean, if there's going to be a game that's the last toughest on their schedule, it's this Arizona State game, but that quarterback's not playing. So it's
Yeah,
not
but
even
if Levitt
really
doesn't
the Arizona State that we thought that you'd be getting at
if
this
Levitt doesn't play, that's a win for Tech. Easy. That's an easy win.
Yep. It's crazy we're talking about Texas A&M and Texas Tech, and Texas isn't even on the radar, and they were the
Yeah.
preseason #1. That's
And I would watch that game in Lexington. This is their first ever trip to the state of Kentucky, and there's another coach that could be on the hot seat in Mark Stoops.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Watch
Yep.
how that one goes because
Yep.
they can buy out that contract in Kentucky real easily because they got that Kroger money. That
Yeah.
Kroger money good.
But who the hell could they
Tons
get
of it.
though? I mean, like, what could they get? What could they get? I mean, because I know basketball's still king there in Kentucky,
Does
but
the words James Franklin mean anything to you?
he'd
A
go.
What?
return to the SEC.
He'd do it, and he'd do okay there.
He
I think there
shaped.
would be
He
lower
turned. He
expectations.
won at Vanderbilt.
Yeah,
There's
Yeah.
no Kentucky would be the type of school that would be perfect for him.
it'd be a
And
nice fresh start.
he would get more money there than he got at Vanderbilt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That
You think
And
if
they
he
got
had to do
NIL.
it over
But
again,
these
he'd stay at
the
Vanderbilt?
only issues do you get Kentucky boosters to buy into football.
Yeah. What did
Yep.
you ask, Two Pair? What
You
did you
think if he
say?
had to do it over again, you think he would have stayed at
He
Vanderbilt?
would have stayed at Vandy.
Probably.
He had it made.
Yeah.
Clark
Yeah.
Lee's what he's got going there now, absolutely amazing. What he's got going there. Clark Lee's going to be there for a while.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't surprise me if his name starts coming up for some of these jobs too, because of what he's done at Vanderbilt.
The only thing that I think with Clark Lee that he is a Vanderbilt guy,
He's
and
a Vanderbilt.
realistically, you stay at your alma mater, but I mean, he's made them competitive. I mean, I don't know what they'll have after the Pavia thing goes or whatever, but those guys play hard for him, man. That's another coach that these guys are playing hard for their coach. I
From
mean,
what I've seen, he's already got going in the transfer portal. I think he's got another quarterback coming in the transfer portal next
there
year.
you go. There you
So
go.
he's made that useful for him. And
Yeah.
he's now starting to recruit inside Nashville, which is very important. Get that Nashville group. Try to convince them to stay home instead of going to Tennessee, instead of going to Alabama or Georgia or Auburn.
Absolutely.
They've got to come up on the NIL money though.
Yeah, they got to come.
They do.
Well, the
I
good
just
thing is,
don't think they have the boot. I mean, they got the money because everybody goes there is freaking loaded, but they aren't invested in the athletic department. So
It's
how
the
do you get them
academic.
to invest into it to get these players there?
I
Yeah.
think the fact that they constructed the stadium now and that's done and it looks pretty good,
It's a
I think
beautiful
that's going to
facility.
help them. I think that's going to help them.
No, guys,
They're
it's a
saying
beautiful
basketball's
facility.
next. They're saying the basketball arena is next.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful facility that they've got over there. They've got a restaurant inside there, more club seats. I mean,
Yep.
and here's the thing, they're starting to actually get like a fan base behind them.
Exactly.
So, I mean, honestly, the way their stadium's constructed, I would love for Miami to have something like that in the heart of Coral Gables, a nice little 40,000 seat stadium, and just
I wish
really.
they rebuild the Orange Bowl, man.
Yeah, they could have
That'd
rebuilt
be
the
great.
Orange Bowl.
I said
I
the Marlins can go to Nashville or Vegas. I don't care at this point.
Nah,
So,
I really think, man, what they should have did. They shouldn't have tore it down. They should have just remodeled it.
They should
And
have.
gave it to Miami
Yep.
and give it to the Hurricanes.
Yeah.
Just let them have it.
Yep. They should have.
Let the
Because-
Dolphins give the Dolphins their new stadium. Let them
give
just
the
stay
Dolphins
there.
their new stadium.
Redid the Orange Bowl
Redo the Orange Bowl.
and
Just
do it
redo
in
the Orange
Miami's
Bowl.
image.
Can I tell you this? The thing that I've joked around with Larry, and Larry can attest to this many times I've said about Miami, we've always been a day late and a dollar short. And the problem I say with that is that the people that are in place now in Miami, if that had been 20 years ago, that would have probably happened.
Yeah,
Scenario
I
you
agree.
say 20 years ago, there was just money grubbing people that didn't give a damn about
And
the
such dysfunction.
or the
And
city.
such dysfunction
Or
in
the
the
city.
leadership. Yeah.
They taxed the people and made them pay for that stadium that they didn't even give a damn about baseball because they were stereotypical. Oh, we've got a bunch of Cuban people that live here and they love baseball. No, they love good baseball. They just don't like any
No,
baseball.
they love good baseball.
I mean,
There's
come on.
difference.
You got as many Yankee fans and Red Sox fans that live down there. Come on.
Man, way too
But the
many.
good
of them.
thing is you got a good hockey. You got a terrific hockey team.
We do.
And
do.
that helps.
Yeah.
And that helps.
And a
man.
Heat team that has been competitive for the
Competitive.
greater part of
Which
20
I think
years.
I think they'll get better this year.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah,
So
I do
well,
too. It's just they play tough, man. Like
They do.
I love that's my
Spolstra's
squad.
a great
That's
coach.
my
Spolstra's a
squad.
terrific
Yeah.
coach.
Yeah,
And now he's the
Spoelstra,
Olympic coach.
The Olympic coach. I'm glad you said that.
Yep, he's now the Olympic coach, which is great because they've been grooming him for this role, and he's following succession of Popovich, Steve Kerr, and now it's Spoelstra. It's his turn.
And I
Larry,
feel like he gets the best out of everybody.
Larry, you said it best about Cristobal.
Yep.
This is where he's got to prove that he's taken a step as the coach, that
Keep it
he's got to
going.
win this October. He's got to beat the ACC. That's what I've always said. It's like, it don't matter. He's always done great in these out-of-conference games, but it's the ACC,
Win the
that has
ACC.
been, and that's been every Miami's coach, in my opinion.
Because
So
right now the ACC, it's theirs to lose.
it is. It is. So, yeah. Guys, talking about this Alabama-Tennessee game, I don't know what the situation is. Is Jam even playing this week? He got nicked up
He's
in
still
that
under
game.
concussion protocol.
Okay, so that's going to be big because Tennessee's been susceptible against the run, and honestly, if they don't have Jam, their running game is ass. I'm sorry. That's
I'm
what
more
I
worried
truly
about their
believe.
Alabama's passing game.
Yeah,
Because
that's
Alabama's been
also-
throwing the hell out of it. And nothing against Alabama, but Missouri let one get away Saturday.
They did.
They
did.
let one get away. They had them. Had a wide, and on their final drive, they had a wide open receiver on the left-hand side that could have ran for a touchdown if the quarterback sees it. He throws the interception on the last drive of the game. If he looks 5 feet to the left, There's a wide open receiver at the 40-yard line, and he could have walked in the end zone, and they win.
Hmm. Yeah. I still don't think this Alabama team is that phenomenal. I really
Nah, they're
don't.
not.
And I think that Tennessee and Heupel have seemed to solve the Alabama conundrum, which is nice for a change because we had every coach that didn't know how to do that. And it was
Man,
even going against Nick Saban. At least Heupel got the win against Nick Saban.
Hey,
Yeah.
if Heupel
the
retires,
Florida conundrum.
yep. Now,
That was, oh my gosh. You remember that Florida conundrum,
and the
the
Alabama conundrum.
Alabama conundrum, and now the new conundrum is
It's
Georgia.
Georgia.
Yeah. Yeah. Who you don't have to worry about it unless you play them in the playoffs or in an SEC championship game going forward because
But if
they're not even on the
Tennessee
schedule
had any,
next year.
this is the best opportunity that Heupel has had to go to Tuscaloosa and beat these guys.
I think he
Oh
does.
yeah.
I
He's
think
got
he
the
does.
running. He's got the running game. He's got the pass defense. He's got the rush. If they can put a rush on Simpson has not seen a pass rush like the
Nope.
one he's about to walk into Saturday night.
Yeah.
And they keep
Right.
giving
Guys
bulletin
go
board
hunt,
material.
and when they go hunting, they usually get what they hunt for.
Absolutely.
And if they can force a couple turnovers like they did at Mississippi State,
Well, and if
you got the
Aguilar can
offense. I
take
don't
care of
think
the ball better than Pavia did, because here's the thing: if Pavia takes care of business like he
they
normally
win.
did, Vanderbilt beats Bama for the second straight year. Nobody can tell me different in
His
that.
two mistakes in the red zone in reality were the difference in that game.
That
Well, and I just
was.
think that Tennessee's defense is better than Vanderbilt's, and Vanderbilt's defense held up pretty good for that game, and that was going against all their fun guys, Jam, and here's the other thing: is Williams going to play because he's kind of been playing hurt
Yep.
from what I understand, and then Alabama had some freshman clone receiver look great last week that bailed their ass out with a spectacular catch over the shoulder that Simpkins threw out there and getting better week by week too. I've noticed
And I expect a big game out of Brazil. Saturday night, I expect a huge game because they're going to make it a point to get him involved early and often.
Yeah, because you can't double team any of our receivers like they did last week. Like we've
Because if you double
proven
team him,
that we've got
Staley's gonna
receivers
get
that can
off.
make plays when you double the other one.
Staley played well.
Yeah, he did.
Kitzelman played well.
Mhm.
The offensive line, for the most part, played very well. And David Sanders, they bring him in. This is perfect for him. You get that big man on the right side with Perry. Oh boy, you could run all day behind that. I think that'll be a performance. I think Star Thomas. I think the three running backs. Peyton Lewis is starting to find himself. Peyton Lewis looked fantastic when he came in for
Deshaun.
Bishop.
Yep.
If we can get Star Thomas going, get him out of the backfield, catching some passes in the backfield, we've got the weapons to beat Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
We just got to use them.
Got to utilize them.
I
Yep,
argue that
utilize them.
the best offensive line Bama has faced all year.
Yeah.
Up. I like Tennessee's O-line. I really do. The way they run block, the way they pass block. I've been tooting their horn all year, and I think they're the difference Saturday night.
Caden DeBoer said in his press conference Monday, he said the Tennessee offensive line, he thinks that when the season is done, will be the best offensive line they face all year.
Probably.
He said they're that good. He said they're that talented. They go 7 deep, and they're that good.
Yeah, and if they give Aguilar time to pick them apart with the receivers that you've mentioned, I don't know. I think Tennessee wins this game, and I think that they could win by 10 points, to be honest with you.
Hey, the spread has dropped. This spread started at 8.5. It's now down to 6.5. A lot of money's coming in on Tennessee. A lot of money's coming in.
I think Tennessee wins this game, especially if Jam is not playing for Alabama. I would
take the over on this game. I would take the over. And then if you want to pick somebody else, I'd pick Tennessee to win because I don't think it's going to be that big of a spot. I think it's going to be a close ball game because that's all Alabama and it's now. That's all we play. We're playing as close games, and a win is a win. I don't care how you get it. A win is a win. And Tennessee gets this win. Look at the rest of their schedule. Sets up nicely.
Yep.
They could run the table and go 11-1, and the worst that happens, they get a spot in the college football playoff.
Yeah.
That's the worst case scenario.
I'll tell you this, guys, and I could be wrong. After I watched Texas and Oklahoma, I don't care if Mateer is back. I don't think Oklahoma is all that. I
Tennessee
think
beat
Tennessee
them
could
here.
really whip their ass in a couple of weeks in Neyland Stadium, especially at night, honestly. I mean,
And
I
we'll
don't
find out what time that game is this week. We'll find out what time that game is this week.
when
But
and
we
you
think
get
it's going to be a night game.
that primetime game. When
I
and you
think we get a night game out of this deal. I think it'll probably be on ESPN. I don't see us being on ABC with them unless Oklahoma pulls something up the next couple of weeks.
Kerry, did you say that Tennessee-Kentucky game is the SEC night game next Saturday night?
7:45, the SEC network.
Interesting.
They have not had Tennessee on the night game all year. They usually get them at least once, a Tom Hart game.
Yeah, I always
Tom
feel like
Hart's
we play Kentucky at night, and that
Shout
used
out
to
to
be like
Tom Hart, man.
especially
Yeah,
especially
it's
Tom
always-
Hart. I've known Tom Hart since he was the PA announcer at the Smokies all the years
Smokies
ago.
game.
Yep,
He was
that's
the
how he got
PA
his
at
start.
Smokies. Yeah.
That's how he got his start, and he mentions it every time Tennessee's on. He said, "I got my start with the Tennessee Smokies."
Yeah. Every
Um,
time.
I do. I want to get back to college football when we do our picks and so forth. Let's go to the NFL real quick. Okay, let's just go to the NFL. So here's the thing. Okay, so these are the storylines after week 6. Preseason favorites, now regular season disappointments. The Titans fire Brian Callahan, 2-pair, you mentioned it. A race for the number 1 spot in the draft. Some atrocious teams. Let me just tell you this real quick. And then you got Tampa, Seattle, Detroit as the 3 best teams according to the power rankings as of right now. Now, let me just read this to you guys because I screenshotted this so we could laugh at this because this is so damn good. Too good to pass up. I want you to hear this right now. There is now a race for the number 1 pick, but you need to tell me who the tank for the number 1 pick is, because this is the race to the bottom right now. In 10th place, we have the Arizona Cardinals with a 2-4 record. In the 9th place, not to be outdone, are the New York Giants with a 2-4 record. At 8 is the Las Vegas Raiders with a 2-4 record. At 7 is the Cincinnati Bengals with a 2-4 record. 6 is the Titans that just fired their coach with 1-5. Number 5 is the Saints with the 1-5. 4 is the Miami Dolphins with 1-5. Ravens are 1-5 at 3. Cleveland Browns at 1-5, but not to be outdone by everybody are the wonderful Jets New York Jets at 0-6. That is 10 trash teams right there, ladies and
After I saw that game in London, the Jets are going to be the number 1 pick. That is a god-awful football team, and Aaron Glenn might be a one-and-done coach. That's how bad we're talking here.
Tyrod Taylor might be starting on Sunday, guys. He's still around.
Man, does Aaron Glenn regret taking that job?
I think he's going to end up regretting taking this job.
I don't think anybody can win there, guys. I don't.
No,
they're not set up to win. They're just
Super Bowl 3. I mean, I'm telling you.
There are bad organizations.
I mean, Rex Ryan is the only one that really. Rex Ryan and Bill Parcells and what, Al Grove maybe.
Al Grove, yeah. But bad organizations usually stay bad for a long time. The Jets have been bad since 1970. Let's face facts. They've been bad since 1970.
Yeah, I can't remember. I don't remember last time they were even decent.
I remember one time Vinny Testaverde was their quarterback and Parcells was the coach, like Kerry mentioned. That was the only good season I think the Jets had, like with Vinny Testaverde.
Jets are bad.
Curtis Martin was the tailback, so I think so. Yeah,
of all of those teams you mentioned, the Jets are the worst.
Oh.
If I had to say the second worst team would be Cleveland. The third worst team of that bunch would be the Arizona Cardinals. And then the Titans. The only reason Callahan kept his job for an extra week is because the Cardinal running back fumbled the ball out of the end zone. That gave him a state of execution for 1 week.
Oh, man, that's hilarious.
If that play does not happen, Callahan gets fired.
And then there's the damn Miami Dolphins, too, that are just, I mean, how is Mike McDaniel still employed? He has pictures on somebody. Nobody can tell me.
He'll be out of a job soon. He'll be out of a job
soon. Horrendous.
And then they'll find another one somewhere else.
Yeah, they'll find another school somewhere else. Maybe they should have listened to Brian Flores after all, shouldn't they?
Wow.
He's looking like a Nostradamus.
Brian Flores looks like a genius.
Brian
we,
Flores did look like a genius.
Arizona coach kicked his ass and got
I
fined.
got fined $100,000. Yep, got fined $100,000.
This is clown show city, man. I mean, I'm telling
Yeah, play the clown music.
Dun, 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 dun. I'm
And in
telling you.
Miami's case, then Tua gets on the stand
Oh, yeah.
after the game and starts calling players out. And I'm sitting there going, yeah, this speaks high of your leadership because obviously they don't respect you and you're a captain.
It's a shit show, man.
That's
pretty
mess.
bad out there.
It's
pretty
That's
bad.
a mess.
And then, not to be outdone, what are the Patriots going to do to the Titans on Sunday?
Man, I really like Drake May. Drake May has looked phenomenal.
Vrabel's building something over there.
Drake
guys.
May has looked, but you know what? I like Drake May in college, so I felt like he had to be somewhere where they're gonna like value him. You know what I'm saying? And you can see Vrabel. He has some sentiment to the old way of the Patriot way.
Mhm.
There, that you know what I'm saying. It follows that same routine. And
Well, and here's the thing, too, Pear. Like, not only do they got Drake May as the quarterback, they've got a kicker in Borogalis that's got like that Gauskowski, like that's gonna make these damn big kicks from 50 yards that are just gonna just break your heart every damn time if you do get them in a close game. I mean, they've got the tools in place already, and they're playing in a division with the Dolphins and the Jets.
Yep. And I say that, when you guys say all that, and I say this. That's why I've got them an upset alert this week, because new coach energy. This is the first game of the Titans with a new coach, with a professional coach. Mike McCoy's coached before. Don't be surprised if this game is closer than it actually is on Sunday, because Callahan's out of the building. His father's out of the building, who was the offensive line coach. McCoy is getting the people that he should be in charge. And I think Cam Ward and the game in Nashville, I think it'll be a closer game than most people think Sunday.
All right.
New coach energy, man. Something about a new coach.
You heard it from Big Game Kerry Reeves right here, man.
I've seen it happen way too many times. New coaches come in, and that first game is always the toughest one for an opponent, especially when this is an obvious mismatch.
Yeah.
An obvious mismatch. Anything can happen.
Well, and then you look at Tampa, Seattle. I mean, some of us said Detroit. Some of us liked Detroit. I remember when we were talking about preseason
I like Detroit.
favorites.
I still like Detroit.
But and we thought that Tampa might be a sleeper. But man, I mean,
Baker Mayfield might be the MVP.
Dude.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield might be the MVP.
What I tell you about Seattle? I told you about Seattle last week. Watch for Seattle.
Darnold is doing great.
Seattle's
Him
dangerous.
and Nigba, the running back combo that they've got of what is it? Zach and who's the other kid? The big guy that used to play at Michigan State.
Walker and Carbonet.
Yeah.
Walker
my God, what a combo those two guys at tailback.
They are the pro version of Tennessee, of the Vols in college. They're the pro version of Tennessee.
They're stacked.
You get a free agent quarterback. You got a running back room, which is really good. You got receivers that are studs.
Solid
you got a
O-line.
defense that goes. You got a defense that travels, and they hit. My God, Dan Williams. If people don't know who Leonard Williams is, they need to Google him. This dude is a pass rusher extraordinaire from the inside.
Yeah.
And
I just think that they're in such a small market up there that nobody really pays attention to that NFC West, and they've got it made to win that division at this point. I mean,
and the good part is Monday night. They're the late game Monday night. There's two games on Monday night. They play Houston Monday night, so the country will get to see Seattle. For those who haven't seen Seattle yet, you're gonna get a show put on because Sam Darnold looks reborn. But then again, we talked about the Jets. Bad organization. Where did Darnold was not? It wasn't all him because the Jets are a bad organization.
Yep.
Look how
he was solid at USC. Shane, I got one for you.
Yeah.
Look at the Buccaneers, man. Look what they've got: the Saints, the Falcons, and the Panthers. I mean, can you imagine in that division right now? That's six wins as far as I know.
That's
6 wins. Well, they've already beaten Atlanta.
Yep.
So they haven't gotten to Tampa. They haven't gotten to the Saints or the Panthers yet.
They might
That should
put
be
40.
fun.
They might put 30 or 40 points on those
Although
two
the
teams.
Panthers might challenge them a little bit. They beat the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Rico Dowdle, the last 2 weeks has looked like the combination of Jim Brown, Barry Sanders, and Thurman Thomas.
And I have won
480
fantasy football games by drafting that guy. Thank you, Rico. I'm telling you, you saved my
483
ass. So
yards
yes.
of all purpose the last 2 weeks. 483 yards. That was more than 7 teams.
You know what,
He
Larry
had more
Frank's
yards than 7 teams.
Larry
Cam
Frank's got to take.
Scatterboo.
How about Cam Scatterboo having his coming out party days prior to his illegitimate father, Mike Allstott, getting a Hall of Fame nod? Allstott was such a beast. We talked
Allstott
about
was
him
a
on our
beast.
running back show.
Allstott was a beast.
Yeah.
I love Mike Allstott,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, Cam Scatterboo, he gives me that same vision of a smaller Mike Allstott. My God.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. I do want to get, back to the college football. That's all I want really to talk about
Yeah.
the NFL. I do want to get to our favorite segment, though. I'm hoping Two Pair gets back on here. I know Larry wanted to comment, but it is that time, guys.
Is it time?
It's my favorite time. They
They
stink, by the way. I mean, they stink. And I'm going to go last because I'm going to come up with one of a team that we've not even talked about, both college and pro at this point. It might shock you. If one of you steals it, I'll laugh and I'll just go with something else because there's so much to choose from. But Shane, I want you to go first for right now. Who is your they stink from this past week, brother? Honestly.
Penn State losing to the doctors, the lawyers, the broadcasters of Northwestern. I mean,
Come on.
Weren't they a 20-something point favorite too or something like
also,
that?
how do you go preseason top 5?
They were
The
number
unranked.
2. They went from preseason number 2 to out.
Guys, I'm really not surprised because when they couldn't beat those 3 basketball schools they scheduled, and not that FIU is really a basketball school, but you get what I'm saying. I mean, they had Villanova and Nevada, and they didn't look that great. I was like, they ain't saving nothing. They don't got nothing. And then they paid all that money for that defensive coordinator to leave Ohio State to come to Penn State. Ohio State threw a damn party that he was gone, guys, honestly. And then they only get Matt Patricia to replace him. I mean,
and now they have the number 1 defense in college football.
Look at that. So,
first team
you're right,
to ever
Shane.
lose.
They stink.
Hey, first team to ever lose back-to-back games as a 20-plus point favorite.
Yep. And
I got a they stink.
UCLA, because rejuvenated themselves. They beat Michigan State and East Lansing, and they were a double-digit underdog. And who does UCLA got this week? Are they off, or who are they playing? I mean, shoot. Because now Neuheisel is looking like the new hot thing there. AI-generated person, so yeah. Jalen Ramsey intentionally trying to hurt Dylan Gabriel and openly advocating for Shedeur Sanders to get in the game. The Cleveland Browns stink. Yeah, Larry Frank, Jalen Ramsey intentionally trying to hurt Dylan Gabriel and openly advocating for Shedeur Sanders to get in the game. The Cleveland Browns stink.
That's a good
Larry.
One. That's
They're
a good
terrible.
One. That's a good one. UCLA hosts Maryland Saturday at the Rose Bowl.
So Maryland's got to go 3,000 miles over. Ooh. Maryland's not a bad team, but that might be a trap game for Maryland.
That's a trap game for Maryland.
And now Nico's looking like great, which pisses me off. But
I know.
Anyway.
Pisses me off.
Now they've got him Heisman contentions. Like he's like number 7 in the Heisman race.
Can you imagine?
And Joey Aguilar's not even top 10.
Piss me off.
He might be top 10 after this week if he shows up.
Joey will be top 5 this week if they pull that off.
Yep.
Hey, now, when I was an officer back in my day, one of the things we did during games and all that, before games and after games, was to get the referees off the field as fast as humanly possible. I say that to say this. These SEC officials stink to high heaven. My God.
They get worse and worse every year.
If it isn't the fact that in the Tennessee-Arkansas game, we get 10 penalties, I understand that. But you only get 1 on Arkansas's, and they did half the stuff that we did and only got 1 penalty called for 10 yards. And that was on a play where we got a turnover. And then to get to the Georgia Auburn game, where these officials, my God, even had the announcers, Sean McDonough and Greg McElroy, who are terrific. They'll be doing the Tennessee-Alabama game Saturday night. They're terrific. They were all over the SEC. Even the guy that was a former head of SEC officiating, Matt Austin, sitting there going, what in the world are they doing? First, that was a touchdown.
Yes.
Where Jackson Arnold, all the ball has to do, and I looked at the rule book because you could find it online. All you have to have is the point of the football hit the goal line. That's all it takes. They scored that touchdown. That game should have been over. And then the coup de grace. Kirby Smart is running down the sidelines, calling a timeout. And then he's sitting there clapping that they were clapping, and he's trying to say I was clapping. When the replays and everything showed, he was calling timeout, and the referees gave him the timeout back. They not only gave it to him back, they didn't even call the delay a game penalty on Georgia because the play clock ran to 0.
Guys, can I just throw this out there? Who did Auburn piss off in the SEC media days because they have screwed them on 2 ginormous? I mean, that it really just. I mean, their season could be completely different now.
They could be a 5-1 top 10 team with 2 signature wins.
And Hugh Freeze's hot seat is not hot.
Would even be hot. It wouldn't even be mild right now.
Yeah. I mean,
but SEC officials, you stink to high heaven. And I don't see it getting any better. That's the scary part.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, it started with that Auburn game. Then taking away the touchdown run and blowing the whistle with the Miami against Florida. I mean, and then you talk about, I mean, they've been atrocious this year. They've been awful.
And the bad part is, after every game, both teams have to speak to the media, players speak to the media, but the referees don't have to speak to the media. That needs to change. They need to be held accountable. They should have press conference after the game so they can explain why they did what they did.
Yep. This is even more reason why the NCAA needs somebody, because this is what all the pundits across the country have been talking about. The fact that it took 36 minutes to play 2 minutes of actual football is beyond me. I'm looking, and other games were completed that started after that game at 7:30, and this thing is still going on at 11:45 at night, guys.
With 2 minutes to go in the first half, it was 9:02.
Yes.
It was 9:43 when the first half ended. It took 41 minutes to play 2. And most of that was because of that review.
Yeah.
That shouldn't have taken that long.
Oh my God.
That's
I hope people got. Listen, you could have gone to the concession stand, gotten a hot dog, gone to the bathroom, gone back to the concession stand, and it still wouldn't have even started this.
Hell, I went to the bathroom, talked to my brother on the phone, everything else in 40 minutes.
Just pitiful. Just pitiful.
They stink.
They do. Two pair, who's your stink, by the way, this week? By the way, Larry gave it to the Cleveland Browns because Jalen Ramsey is trying to get Dylan Gabriel hurt and openly advocating for Shedeur Sanders to get into the game now. That's how bad the Browns are right now. So, yeah.
Yeah. Larry, I love
Larry goes, do like we used to do when the refs made bogus calls, accidentally run their ass over. So, yeah.
Hey, the line judge of the UT game got his ass ran over.
They called it fair, bastard. You bastard.
They are part of the field. Technically, they're part of the playing surface.
Who stinks to me?
There's so many.
There's so many. I mean, we got some stinkers.
I think you guys are going to laugh at mine when I do mine, but I want you to go first.
I'm going to have to go with the Cleveland Browns trading Joe Flacco to the Cincinnati Bengals so he could lose. Like it's just bad. That was bad. That stinks.
Flacco, hang it up,
Man,
baby.
yeah. There's a bunch of stuff that stinks. The Browns for saying that Shador had been regulated the number 2 quarterback. Where else could he go on the depth chart? Like that stunk for me.
Wow.
Number 3,
We had
they're
some
going to
stinkers.
see the Deshaun Watson anyways.
We had some stinkers. But I think I've said the Jets. They are just atrociously stank. They don't stink at this point. They stank.
Can I throw something out there with yours, because that's not even mine too, Pair. But somebody said something really funny Sunday night as I was driving back from North Carolina on one of the shows. We sent that product to get Great Britain interested in football. They might just stick with soccer, because why wouldn't you after watching that shit
Man, it was
Sunday morning?
bad. Man, it was
Honestly, that
bad.
was
It was bad.
awful. That was
Yeah,
absolutely
I mean, they
atrocious.
just didn't. Like you're not protecting Justin Fields. He's running for his life. He every time he dropped back, all he saw was just white jerseys just coming at him. I mean, it was bad, man.
Yeah.
Like
No, you're right, Larry. Joe Flacco got his ass beat twice in a week to the same team. He did. I mean, that's history right there. You've managed to outdo yourself. I mean, I've not even seen a quarterback that just happened to play a team in the last regular season game lose and then have to play that same team the following week in the first round of the playoffs, and that happened. Honestly, I've never
yeah,
seen that happen,
but
but it happened.
for him in his career now, he's just a hired gun now. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he's like a journeyman. This is the Super Bowl MVP.
He is.
He was the Super Bowl MVP. Like he beat Peyton Manning on the road.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's the new Fitzmagic.
He is.
Nah, he's had a better career than Fitzmagic though.
I was just with how he's traveling.
Oh, the traveling,
Yeah.
that part, yeah. But you know what, Fitzpatrick, he's had like it's crazy as a backup quarterback and a dude that was picked where he was picked. He's got some crazy numbers. If you just go on like Wikipedia and check him out, it is some wild stuff of a lot of records he has as a quarterback.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure he's racked up some serious moolah during the time too, and I hope he
Yeah.
invested it well as well. So
Though he was also
He went to
super
Harvard.
smart anyway, so
yeah, he was. So, well, I'm waiting for Kerry to get back. I'm sure he'll be back any second for mine, because mine. Let's see, he's coming back here. So,
All right, James, I want to hear it.
all right, here we go. All right, so here it is. It's a game, a team we haven't talked about yet today, and I'm going to go back to the college ranking. My dear boy Badgers of Wisconsin. You made a decision to hire Luke Fickell. And Luke Fickell, guys, back in December of 2021, had the Cincinnati Bearcats in the 4 playoff. Yes, they got in that game, but they made the Final 4.
Yep.
He leaves Cincinnati, goes to Wisconsin. Wisconsin's thinking, hey, we're going to get this guy, and he's good. Look what he's done at Cincinnati. He'll bring us back. He'll have us in the upper echelon of the Big Ten. Nothing got worse than what happened on Saturday. You lost 37-0 to Iowa and Kirk Ferentz, who in the previous 3 games hadn't even scored 37 points total. Furthermore,
they suck.
That's
you
hilarious.
welcome Ohio State this Saturday, and this goes for CBS too. You could have Ole Miss Georgia as your 3:30 game. Instead, you have, yes, the number 1 team defending national champions, Camp Randall, jump around in the 4th quarter and You all mentioned Billy Napier, Sunbelt Billy, Mike Norvell. I've even heard poor Sharon's name be mentioned that he might be let go at Michigan. No. At the end of Saturday going into Sunday, Luke Fickell will no longer be the coach because Wisconsin, you stink. To lose to Iowa like that, 37-0, you should be ashamed of yourselves. You had that once upon a time you were in the Big Ten championship and got walloped by either Michigan or Ohio State or whomever, but you can't even score a point and got shut out by Iowa and Kirk Ferentz. You stink. Just terrible. Just awful. No jump around. No jump around.
No nothing.
And that's
No
one of
nothing.
Alabama's victories, just to let you know. That's why I'm even more confident Tennessee wins on Saturday. So,
Hey.
yes.
CBS could have had LSU and Vanderbilt as a 3:30 game. That's how
Absolutely.
bad this is.
They might have even argued for
bad.
Tennessee versus Alabama, too.
Hey, they
You
used to
could have
carry.
voted
They
that
used to
one.
carry Tennessee and
They
Alabama.
love that 3:30 game. That's why it was so awesome to see it's a night game, and I hope that we get the night game next year, and so forth. But that being said, when they come back to Neyland, but yeah, guys, there's so many stinkers, and I had to pick that one. When I heard that, I
That's
was
a
like,
good one.
wow,
They
Wisconsin,
stink.
because once upon a time, this was a team that was in bowl and in the upper echelon of the Big Ten, and you're down there at the bottom. I mean, you're pathetic.
They
True.
think of the running backs that came out of there, like Ron
Oh
Dane,
my God, yes.
Jonathan Taylor.
Yes.
Those
What about
guys.
what about the beast that was running the ball there for a while for the Chargers?
Ron Dane. Oh, you're talking about Melvin Gordon.
Melvin Gordon.
Melvin Gordon, baby.
Melvin
yes.
Gordon.
I mean, they had some beasts there.
They were.
And
Yep.
Monty Ball.
Monty
Yes.
Ball.
Yes. And wasn't Russell Wilson a part of them once
Yep.
upon a time?
Yes, he was.
So
Led him to the Big
before he
Ten.
went to
Transferred
NC
to
State,
NC
so yeah.
Led him to the Big Ten championship game, as a matter of fact. His only year there.
Oh my God! I mean, just awful. Just what has happened to Wisconsin?
They
They suck. They're
Yeah, they're gonna jump around.
they're going to jump around. I mean, you can't even get it. And I remember that was like the place to go. There.
Yep,
And
Camp Randall, man.
and Ohio State, man, they're going to put 60 points on their ass.
They could play the third string and put 60 on.
I mean, let me ask you this: is Ryan Day, because I guess he used to be his defensive coordinator or whatever, but is Ryan Day going to take it easy on him, you think, or whatever after a while? But they also got to have style points too, and so forth.
He could take it easy and they score 40.
Wow. Jeremiah
That
Smith
might be taking it easy,
might
scoring 40.
cinch the Heisman in the first half, honestly, at this point. So yeah. Breaking news: Al Pacino expecting a baby at 85. Carry on.
What the?
He's the Godfather, baby. He's
Damn, man. Al Pacino, man. Son of a woman, man. That's one of my all-time favorites, man. Son of a woman.
I want to get to you, baby, because it's your big games of the week before we get to our predictions. I got 7 big ones for us to all predict and so forth, but I want your big games of the week before we get into that. So, yeah.
All right, on the college level, there's going to be some good ones this week, man. On the college level, 2 that I'm really looking. The SEC has got 3 of the best ones, but another one I'm looking at relatively close would be the USC Notre Dame game, because I think at 20-13, I look at the over under at 61.5, and Notre Dame is a 9.5 point favorite. I'm taking the over on that game because I think it's going to be a score fest. It's going to be closer than 9.5. That's what I'm looking at on that level. The NFL game of the week that I am really keeping my eye on. Give me a second, and I'll bring up the NFL schedule. Is the Thursday night game tomorrow night between, we talked about Joe Flacco, 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers against 41-year-old Joe Flacco. The AARP, they're calling it the AARP game. They call it the Social Security game. They've called it all kinds of all old games. The Aetna Bowl. They're talking, and this is the first of 2 times
Brought to you by Hub
each other. So we're going to get a double dose of 2 40-year-old men playing against each other. But that's how much the NFL game has changed when 2 40-year-old quarterbacks are going to be playing each other. And the other game I'm looking at is Monday night, Tampa Bay and Detroit, which is the first of 2 games on Monday night. Tampa and Detroit. I want to see Tampa see if they can win on the road in a tough environment. And I want to see how Detroit rebounds from losing to the Chiefs and losing Brian Branch for his little antics at the end of that game. He's been suspended. So that'll be interesting to see how they defend Baker and Izabuka, because that's another kid out of Ohio State that's just flown on the screen. Mike Evans is supposed to make his return. He's one of the wounded, one of the many wounded for Tampa Bay. They're still missing their other wide receiver, their best running back, and 3 of their offensive linemen. And how they're 5-1, Baker Mayfield right now is the front runner for MVP. It's that simple.
Wow. Well, can I ask you 2 things real quick, because Larry is actually calling that old man's bowl, by the way. Yeah, and then also
I like that one, the Viagra
Aaron
Invitational.
versus Flacco equals the Viagra Invitational.
That's a classic one.
Yeah,
Right there.
Dallas is also sponsoring too. They're asking for a moment. I will throw this out there. When did this become a thing where there's now 2 Monday night games? Is this going to be all year, and is it just another way to get?
This is the third time. I think they're only going to do it like 2 or 3 times a year. This is the third time they've done it this year. But there's one other game I want to mention. International game in London, the Rams and the Jaguars at Wembley. That may be the best game all Sunday.
Yeah.
And it's in London, 9:30 in the morning. It's going to be a good game.
Hopefully they produce better than what the hell we were subjected to last
Sunday.
Sunday.
That one we were subjected to. High school team could have beaten either one of those teams Sunday. That was that bad.
Yeah.
Anytime there's a Jets.
And I thought that the Broncos would be a little bit better this year. I don't know what's going on.
Their defense is stout. Bo Nix is going through the second-year thing. All them good quarterbacks have that second-year drop-off, man. Yeah. But their defense is talented. I mean, you get 9 sacks in a game, you win 13-11. Hey, they don't need much, and the Jets were just god-awful. I mean, in this day and age where offense is king, and you have a grand total of -10 passing yards as the Jets did, that's bad.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Well, and I know somebody mentioned the Ravens are on a bye week this week. Man, the Steelers take care of business tomorrow night, which they should. I mean, the Steelers got this division wrapped up. And Larry, I remember how you were, at the beginning of the year. Your Steelers are looking great. I mean, at this point,
they take care of business. They've got at least a 3-game lead on 2 of the other teams, and a 4-game lead on Baltimore.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a Steelers fan, I'd be just grateful that you're not these other ass teams, and that especially the 2 Ohio teams. That's just terrific. Hey, you know what? If you live in Ohio, it's definitely like a Miami Hurricane fan. Right now, Saturday's great. Sunday, if you're a Browns or a Bengals fan, you just watch the game again from Saturday. You don't need to watch what Sunday.
Hell, I'll give you one worse. Think of it, you're a Titans fan. How does it feel knowing that Vanderbilt's the better football team than you are?
Yes.
When's the last time anyone has ever said that? No one ever.
Never.
Yeah.
No one ever.
Yeah. I mean, you're more excited to watch Vanderbilt and obviously the Vols as opposed to watching the Titans on Sunday.
Exactly.
That's crap. So,
I'd rather go watch. Yeah.
Those are good ones. I like that, Kerry. I'll keep an eye on all those, man.
Yeah, keep an eye on those. Those are going to be good games, man.
Yeah. Well, listen, these are the 7 games that I predicted, and of course, I like the 7 because it gives us an odd number of games. These were the ones that I wanted to go with, and I'm putting them in the order that they will be played. Obviously, they're all big-time national matchups. Starting Friday, Louisville at Miami. Shane, I want you to go first on this one. Louisville going down there, Brom, got some South Florida guys. Miami coming off of the bye week and so forth. Who you got in this one?
Miami is one of the best teams in the country right now. Give me Miami.
Okay. Larry, you can also chime in with your picks in the comment box. 2 pair. Who you got? The Canes or the Cards, man, on Friday night ACC?
Man, got to take them boys some Coral Gables. They've been looking really good.
All right. Kerry, who you got on that one?
I think Miami starts slow, but with the defense they have, they will fitting to start slow, and I think their defense carries them. I think Miami wins that game. Gotcha. I think they're just too physical.
One thing to look for in this game is that Louisville's quarterback isn't as agile as Castellanos was.
Yeah, he's a
I
sitting
look
duck.
for that Miami defensive line to live in that backfield,
Mhm.
and I think it's a slow start for the Canes. They could surprise me, but if Miami's on their A game, there's no reason they shouldn't win this game
Exactly.
by 20 something points. So, but give me the Canes on that one. So, yeah, for sure.
I also
Larry,
want to see what Carson Beck does. I want to see him grow.
yeah.
Played a great Florida State game. I want to see that momentum keep going for him.
Absolutely, yeah, and Larry's got the Canes as well in that one. So, next game, Georgia Tech at Duke. I mean, this is a game that pretty much eliminates one of the teams that are in contention to go to Charlotte in the
Mhm.
ACC. Both teams are undefeated. It's a noon game. Georgia Tech at Duke. Obviously they're talking about maybe Kenny taking that Penn State job. Maybe there might be some distractions there. If you haven't seen Mensa play quarterback, he is a very good quarterback
Mhm.
for Duke. Obviously, we've talked about the toughness of Haynes King. Kerry, who do you got in that one? Georgia Tech at Duke.
Man, when I think Georgia Tech and Duke, I don't think of football. I think
No.
of back in the late '80s with Lethal Weapon 3. I think of John
Ooh,
Sally,
ooh,
Mark Price,
ooh,
Bruce
Yep.
Dalrymple, those
ooh.
guys, Bobby Cremins against Duke's great squads with Billets and Allery and them. But now in football, this is going to be a fun football game. I think
Yep.
it may be one of the more entertaining games of the day. Give me Georgia Tech, and I love their resiliency. Won a
Gotcha.
game at Wake Forest. Like I was saying earlier, 2 years ago, they would have lost that game at Wake Forest when they were down 20. I think Duke plays them tough, but I like Georgia Tech to win a close one.
Nice. Two pair. Who you got in that one? The Yellow Jackets or the Blue Devils?
Man, I like what they're doing over there in Atlanta. I
Mm-hmm.
really do. They play a nasty style of football. They're aggressive, and I think they got the right coach. And with Haynes King quarterback, man, I like Georgia Tech.
Yep. Shade, who you got in this one, bud?
Georgia Tech, they've proven that they can play against higher quality teams.
Mm-hmm.
So give me Georgia Tech all day.
I guess I'll be different. I like Duke in the upset. I think Duke gets it done the way Wake Forest couldn't. And but don't be surprised if I'm wrong. But I'm just going to be different in this one. I like the Blue Devils. If this was in Atlanta, give me Georgia Tech by 2 touchdowns.
Good
But I
point.
think at Wallace Wade and Duke kind of being sneaky, and for whatever reason, certain teams match up better with certain teams. Duke has been a thorn in Georgia Tech's side, even when they used to have the Coastal and the Atlantic divisions back in the
Mm-hmm.
day. But I'm going to go with Duke against my better judgment. But I just I wouldn't be surprised if Georgia Tech wins this game. But just to be different, I'm going to go with the Blue Devils in this one. So and Larry's going to go with Tech straight up on that one. So next game, we've talked about this LSU at Vanderbilt game. I'll go first because I've made no secret about it. I've got Vanderbilt winning this game by 10 points. Shane, who do you got in the LSU Vanderbilt game?
I got Vanderbilt also. I think this is the end for Brian Kelly.
Gotcha. Two pair, who you got in this one? The Tigers or the Doors?
If I pick the Commodores, Brian Kelly's gonna come for me though. If I pick him right, he's definitely coming for me if I
He'd
pick
have
him.
to go through a whole state of pissed off people before he gets to you.
Yeah,
LSU
He
should
wants
win this
none of that,
game.
so
LSU should win this game.
they
But
should.
if they lose to Vanderbilt,
yeah. And that's why I'm going with Vanderbilt. I think it's a lower scoring game. I think
we
both
haven't done that in a while.
We haven't. So
I think both defenses are going to play well. But in this little bit, LSU's defense has played really well,
Yeah,
and I think that's their
LSU
calling
played
card.
really well.
yeah.
That's why I said
Vanderbilt.
like it's hard to pick.
I want to see
But
how
that's LSU.
Vanderbilt handles losing a close game like they did to Bama. I want to see what their resolve is. Being back at home may be the best thing that could happen after a loss.
And
After they
coming
lost
off of a
today.
bye week too. They've
And
had
coming
2
off a
weeks to
bye.
prepare for this game, for this stretch of theirs coming up
And
as
that's
well.
why I like Vanderbilt in a close, low scoring game. I'm looking at 20-17, 20-14.
You know what's crazy? If Vanderbilt wins this game, do you know that they will be bowl eligible the
Yep.
earliest they've ever been in their
In
history?
their history, yep.
I mean, that's unbelievable of what their coach has done. That's
And
all
they're looking at a good bowl, not the
they are.
Music City Bowl or Birmingham Bowl. We're
Oh,
talking a possible Florida Bowl
yeah. I mean, they could be in the Outback Bowl
for
having
New
blooming
Year's Day.
onions or whatever,
Yep.
Gator Bowl even.
Gator
So,
Bowl or the Citrus Bowl. They're looking at a Florida Bowl, man.
Larry, you, I swear, have like something. I think you just like jumped into my brain and was like, James that wants to say it. I almost was going to bring up Bridget the Midget, to be honest, because two pair just did the eye, and I was thinking,
Bridget
is this
the
one of those
Midget.
games that you're much rather watch what's on the stage as opposed to what's going to happen? I mean, because it may not be pretty. So, but I'm just saying, noon game. And it's an 11 o'clock start in Nashville, too, by
Yep.
the way. Yeah. So
Well, LSU's used to that. They used to be
they
an
are.
11 o'clock start. So, yeah.
It's kind of interesting they made that the noon game, you know. So
Joe Tessitore game. That's the Joe Tess and Jesse Palmer game.
Joe
That'll be
Tessitore.
actually be a fun game.
Jesse Palmer. So, yeah.
I love Jesse Palmer. He's the Bachelor, man. He's got the old Golden Bachelor, the regular Bachelor.
You know, say what you will about him, he actually knows his stuff. You know,
Yes, he
Jesse's
does.
done very well for himself, honestly. He may not have been a great quarterback per se, but
He wasn't terrible.
definitely made it as a broadcaster, kind of like the Kirk Herbstreit route, to be honest with you. But
he's expanded more on his program and choices. What he does, he does a real good job, man.
Yeah. Larry's got LSU. No way they let LSU lose to as a top 10 team with potential top 5 opponents coming up. That goes back to those shitty SEC refs too, but not bad. Not a bad pick there. So, yeah. All right, the game day game, Ole Miss at Georgia. I could flip a coin on this one. Kerry, get us started with it. Who you like, the Rebels or the Bulldogs?
I could flip a coin on this too. After everything I've seen, you can't kill Georgia. If this game was at Ole Miss, I would go with Ole Miss. The game is in Athens. I'm going to go with Georgia barely. I actually think it's a middle range. If the score of the game is going to get judged, if it's a middle to low score game, Georgia will win. If this thing explodes into a high scoring fest, Ole Miss will win all day long. Because I don't think Georgia can stop Ole Miss if Kiffin gets going and they start scoring points of bunches. I don't think Georgia can stay with it.
Tooper, who you got? The Dogs or the Rebels? Larry Frank's going with the Dogs.
Man, I'm going with the Dogs. I just don't see Ole Miss beating Georgia. I don't see it. I don't see it.
Yeah, for sure. Shane, who you got? The Dogs or the Rebels?
Go Rebels. Give me Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss all day, or the Land Sharks, or whatever the hell they are. Bears, Rebels, whatever the hell you want to call Ole Miss. Give me them. Plus, I can't pull for that team from Athens.
I hear you. No, I hear you.
And they would be undefeated.
Do you want to know the worst thing about this? I literally, you talk about this flipping the coin. I've been going back and forth on this game since Saturday because of how both teams looked, you know. And I was like, were they looking ahead? I mean, and I knew game day was going to go there. And then, like, I look at the between the hedges. But truth be told, I made that argument a couple of weeks ago and had egg in my face with how bad they looked against Bama. But then you go to that whole some teams match up against other teams better, blah, blah, blah. I say all that. I think Ole Miss does it. I think the Rebels go in there and beat Georgia and then just shut the door on the Dogs at this point of maybe playoffs because, you know, then it gets a little bit harder for Georgia going forward, what have you. So, yeah, so give me Ole Miss. I think they get their act together. I think they were not up for that Washington State game. They'll be up for this one and ready to play. Give me the Rebels.
Hey,
and that quarterback for the Rebels is great. So
you talk about wiggle room. Ole Miss does have wiggle room being an undefeated team.
They do. Yeah.
Georgia has no wiggle room.
No, they've
you
got
lose this game, you're at 2 losses, and their schedule doesn't get easier as you go along.
Yep. They better watch out for that cocktail party next week too. You never know.
Hey, because we don't ever know who's going to be the coach.
That's right.
It
because if Florida, if Florida
beats
beats
somebody
Mississippi
else.
State, Florida traditionally has given
Plays
Georgia
them
fits. So
Yes,
they gave
giving
them
them
fits last year.
Yep.
So Yeah. Okay. I like that. All right, next game. Kerry, it was one of your big game picks, USC at Notre Dame. Shane, who do you got in that one? The Trojans going to Notre Dame. This is kind of almost an essential elimination game if USC even has aspects of possibly going to the playoff as an at-large team and not even having to play in the Big Ten, to be honest with you. So, yeah, championship.
Give me Notre Dame.
All right.
I just don't see how. I don't know. Something about USC doesn't tell me they'll pull it out.
Okay.
I like Notre Dame, man. I like Notre Dame. I like Notre Dame because I like the way they are defensively, and then they do have just the skilled players that they can put in position to make big plays in that running game.
Nice. Larry's got to get to bed. He wished us a good night, but his final picks
Night,
were going to
Larry.
be Notre Dame, the Vols, and the Utes in the Holy Bowl between BYU and Utah. I didn't even know it was called that. It's called
It's called the Holy Bowl.
The Holy Bowl. So, wow. Anyway, but yeah, thank you, Larry, as always, man. Glad you could be a part of the show. And anytime you ever want to come on and be a part of it, you are always welcome, my friend. Love you. So, yeah. So two pair, you've got the Notre Dame. Kerry, who did you pick? Notre Dame as well?
I would go with Notre Dame because it's an elimination game.
Yeah.
If Notre Dame loses this game, you can't have 3 losses to top 20 teams and get in the playoff. They've got to win this game.
Yeah.
Especially how the first 2 went, they were close, that they could have won either one. You got to win this one because this may be the last ranked opponent you face. And if they can't win this one, I don't see a committee sitting there looking at them going, you won 9 games, but the 3 teams you lost to were all in the top 25.
Yep.
So Notre Dame's got to have it, and I think they will.
And 2 of them were your rivals because technically Catholics versus convicts. And then, like you said, this is the last time the USC Notre Dame thing is going to happen.
And especially how good Miami and Texas A&M are still looking right now. You can't afford to lose this one to USC.
Yeah.
And for USC, this is a world buster for them.
Yeah.
This could propel them straight out to a playoff spot without playing in the Big Ten championship game.
I'm going to tell you this, guys. The last time USC went to middle America, they started off slow, had to fight like hell against Illinois, and ended up losing by 2. I think Jay Maivia is going to make some plays against Notre Dame's suspect pass defense, but I just don't think they have the defense to stop Notre Dame's pro offense. And DJ Carr is getting better and better each and every week. Give me the Fighting Irish, and I think the Irish win comfortably. But don't be surprised, like you said, that the over happens with that 61, like you said, Gary. I like that. So
this is also the 20th anniversary of the Bush Push.
That's right, the Bush Push. So, yep, it is. Utah at BYU, the Holy Bowl. Kerry, who do you got in this one, bud?
BYU has impressed me. They have been under the radar all year. They are a well-coached football team. And the fact that this is called the Holy War says a lot about both schools, but I think BYU wins a close one. Utah, they always play close games, and I think BYU wins a close one with this one and keeps their bit going. Because right now, them and UNLV and South Florida and Navy, you're talking about those 4 teams possibly competing for the 12th spot in the college football playoff.
And Memphis. You got Memphis and USF, which is going to be a big game next week coming up. So, yes. So,
and Memphis is in that boat, too.
Yeah. Two pair, who you got, BYU or Utah? That's actually going to be another night game on the Fox. That's going to be the Fox.
I like BYU and the fact that they have a quarterback that wears number 47.
Yep.
That's something.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Shane, who you got in this one, BYU or the Utes?
Give me the Utes.
What's a Ute?
Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor. The 2 youths. What's a Ute?
What's a Ute?
Yeah. That's not a bad pick. You want to know something? I want to pick Utah so bad, but they let me down against damn Texas Tech, and yet Texas Tech is really good. And, I thought BYU was on the ropes last week. It ain't going to happen 2 weeks in a row. Give me Brigham Young University to
Yeah,
get it.
Arizona played them great last week.
Arizona should have won that game, but double
Mhm.
overtime, BYU found a way to win, and they're looking like that team that might, get in
Mhm.
there and so forth. But this is the last team, in my opinion, that could knock them off, like
Yep.
you said, and so forth. And it
Mhm.
is a rivalry game. I bet it'll be a close one, but give me BYU because they're at home. That's why I like BYU. So yeah. All right, guys. Now the final one, the third Saturday in October. Bittersweet because you're halfway through the regular season of the college football. We love this rivalry game, but damn, I wish college football would slow down just a little bit. You're going too fast for me. Shane, who wins the third Saturday in October, 7:30 ABC Saturday night in Tuscaloosa?
Get your cigars ready to be smoked down there in Alabama as Tennessee takes over the stadium, Vols by 10.
I like it, bud. I like it. Two pair, who you got? The Vols or the Crimson Tide?
There's gonna be a streak that's gonna be broken.
The only
And it
question.
happens in T-Town. Vols by a field goal.
I like it.
My heart can't take that again. Another field goal win, I might have a heart attack on the spot.
Redemption, though. Redemption.
Well, you better get your heart pills ready because that's how I think it's going to happen. I think this is going to be a terrific football game. I think both quarterbacks will play well, but I think in the end, Tennessee gets a one last drive. Max Gilbert, who missed the field goal that could have beaten Georgia, gets redemption and makes a 48-yard field goal at the gun to
Ooh.
light them cigars up in Tuscaloosa for the first win since 2003 in that very stadium, 34-31 in an absolute classic.
I like it. I like it.
That have Robert Dayland and all the old Tennessee Vols that have passed away smoking cigars up in heaven all the way down because there will be smoke at Dixieland Delight. Somebody will play Dixieland Delight in Alabama Stadium. The band will play Dixieland Delight at the end of the game. And really insult them Alabama fans. Really insult them Alabama fans.
I'm just going to throw it just like this, guys. VOLS. I think I think Tennessee's going to be focused.
Yep.
I think that last week maybe they were looking ahead, but I think you're going to see a great Vol win by 10 points, and it's going to leave Alabama with that one guy that they always show on TV like that, and we're going to be lighting up them cigars. For you, Mohammed, I will have a cigar ready to go Saturday night as the Vols plant the Tennessee flag in the middle of Tuscaloosa.
And
go Vols. Vols get it done.
And the ramifications are huge because if Tennessee wins this game, you look at the rest of their schedule, they have wiggle room to play with. Even if you lose down in Gainesville, the hip pocket wins you would have is Alabama, Oklahoma, Syracuse, which is still a good win because that's still going to be a good win by the time the season's over. You got wins in your hip pocket. You go to Florida and win. The worst that happens, you're 11-1. You may not play for the SEC title, but you get a top seed in the college football playoff and let whoever plays for the SEC title beat the crap out of each other.
Yep.
If you're not in it, you get one less game. Plus, there's a possibility you get a home game.
And that'll happen.
Neyland Stadium.
That'll happen. 11-1, that'll happen.
And you get one of them big name teams to come to your house.
In December. In December. Never been done before.
And you could go on a run like Ohio State did last year. If everything is set up right. You win Saturday, you've got so much in front of you at that point because I don't think nobody stops them. You win Saturday, they go to Kentucky, do damage. They get Oklahoma, night game, they'll wear all black, do damage. New Mexico, damage. Florida, damage. Vanderbilt, ass kicking of a lifetime because that's coming.
Yep.
That's coming. I guarantee you, Diego sweet boy Diego is not going to make it out of Knoxville unless he's being carried in a box back to Nashville because that boy's got a body bag with his name on it.
We'll just take him up to the body farm.
Yep, we'll take him up to the body farm. Let them clean him out, and then we'll ship him back to Nashville with everything else.
It'll be carving the turkey, you know what I mean? That Thanksgiving weekend.
That's what this game means. This game means wiggle room. You
Yeah.
beat him, and Hypo now gets his road signature win. That's the only thing missing is a road signature win. You get it at Alabama, and then them fans in Alabama will look at Caden DeBoer and go, "You've lost to Tennessee 2 times in a row."
Yep.
His seat gets warm because they have no more wiggle room.
Yep. And 3 out of the last 4. And 3 out of the last 4.
And that means you could knock them out of the playoff.
Yep.
Because that Florida State loss is starting to look worse and worse for Alabama.
Yep.
You throw this loss on top of that at home, yeah, they're they'd be in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
They would have to win out and look good doing it just to even get a sniff of the playoff. You imagine if they missed the playoff 2 years in a row, what that would do?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And Tennessee makes it 2 years in a row at their expense.
It's written. It's written in the stars, baby.
That's
I believe
what
that.
this game means. This game is could be a tale of 2 seasons, one way or the other.
That's right. I think it's going to happen. I think it's going to
happen.
That streak.
I think this is the best. And after the year that's college football, as we've been going through already, we've seen anything can happen.
And anybody can.
And it has.
Yep.
And it has. And anybody can be beaten. And it has.
One storyline that I want to say before we wrap this up is that it's been phenomenal college football week in and week out.
Yeah.
I expect nothing less this weekend.
Unbelievable.
It's been a great season. We said at the beginning anybody could show up, and it has not disappointed, and it has played out, especially in the favor of the teams that we like, and that's what makes it even more fun, to be honest.
And the scary part is I don't think we've seen anything yet.
I don't think we have either. We still got 8 more weeks.
We got 8 more weeks, and this is going to be crazy. Because what you think is the playoff now, people are putting in playoff predictions, who's going to make it, who's not. What you have now is going to be completely different by next Saturday.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, these are the last 2 weeks you've got to impress the committee
before the first
ranking
poll
in
comes
the first
out.
week of November. Yeah, that's right. That's coming out. So yeah, great
You
show.
would love to be in that top position, in near the close to that top position. I don't want to be the number 1, but I would love to be in that centerpiece where they reveal your name next to last. Put yourself in good position. Like I said, a win like this, you have wiggle room.
Yep. And as long as you're one of those 11, that's all you need to be.
Exactly. That's all that matters. I don't even say a 12 because the 12 goes to the group of 5. But as long as you're one of those 11, and just think, Tennessee wins. Look at their resume. You could stack their resume up against just about anybody else, and it's comparable.
Yep. And I will say this, unlike what we saw last year, Shane, I think that you'll have way better matchups this go around.
Yeah.
I really believe that. More competitiveness and not so much of just of a snoozer of like, what the hell's going on here, honestly. So, yeah.
And just think how good it would have been if we had beaten Georgia. Just think of how the season could have gone if you beat Georgia.
Right now,
we're undefeated. Actually,
you're undefeated, and you're probably 1, 2, or 3 at this point, depending on how they valued that win.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep.
Actually, I think losing to Georgia could turn out to be the best thing that happened.
Mm-hmm. And it happened early.
Yeah, and it happened early.
And it happened early. Just like
it's
what
not
happened
like
in Notre Dame. I mean,
Yep.
honestly. So, you just got to keep taking care of business. And don't worry about anybody else. Just worry about
Take care of you.
What you've got on your schedule. So
like I said, you win Saturday, the worst case scenario, you're 11-1. You don't get to play in the SEC championship game. That's not exactly a bummer. But if you do get to play in the SEC championship game, that pretty much means you're going to make the playoff one way or the other.
Just depends where you go.
You're just playing for seeding at that point.
You're playing for seeding at that point and a big ass trophy to bring home.
Yeah.
That'd be great to bring a big ass trophy. Hypo to bring the trophy home.
Well, and the truth of it is,
so
these
wonderful.
next 3. Well, and you know what? And the truth of the matter is that these next 3 or 4 weeks, it's going to really play it out of who's going to get those 2 spots.
Yep, we're gonna find out. Yeah, this next 4 weeks with all these matchups in the conference, we're gonna find out who the best 2 teams in the conference are, and who's just about. We're gonna have different levels.
Absolutely.
And that's what makes this so much fun.
Yep.
Best thing they did was getting rid of the divisions. It makes it an even playing field.
Yep.
Do your job, you get to play in Atlanta for a title.
That's it. To say you're the best of the best. So that's it. Simple as that. So
because right now Texas is down. Georgia, in a way, could be down before you. You'll find out the Georgia result before you step on the field. Georgia could lose that game. They're at 2 losses, but they have a victory over you. You beat Alabama. You did something they couldn't do. They beat Tennessee, beat Alabama.
And you did it on the road. They couldn't even do it at home.
They couldn't do it at home.
That's it.
That carries a lot more weight.
Yep, for sure. Great show as always, guys. And then tomorrow, 2 pair, you and me doing double duty again.
That's gonna be fun.
Crazy.
Tomorrow afternoon.
Cheer them girls on, man.
Yep, we're going to be there. And then, of course, the Lady Rebels soccer, against Bearden for it all. It's going to be amazing tomorrow night. Last thoughts, guys, before 2 pair, you wrap us up as always.
That could be what you guys have tomorrow night. Could be the biggest soccer game in the history of Knoxville.
Good.
Yeah.
You got an ascending program in West against one of the best programs in the entire country in Bearden. And I know because when that program got started, I was there. I've seen it grow firsthand to the point that they got their own field. And I thought that was big time. No, they've backed it up with championships. They've got trophies. They got rings. I have one ring myself from one of the soccer championships. This is one of the biggest soccer games in the history of this city. And it's by 2 of the oldest high schools in the history of this city, West and Bearden. West has been around 75 years.
And
Bearden's been around almost 70.
Yeah, 77.
Bearden's been around longer. Bearden's been around since the 30s.
Yes.
If you go back to the original location.
Yeah.
This is big time soccer.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, 2 of the oldest cities, 2 of the oldest schools playing for a major championship.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then here's the other thing too. This could be the potential second of 4 matchups, especially if they win. If they take on and beat Powell and Oak Ridge respectively, they could be playing for a region next week, and then they could possibly meet in the state. Yep. Again. Yep. So this could be the second of 4 potential matchups. So
but yeah, this is huge, man. What you guys have, that's a big deal. How was was a pretty good crowd Tuesday night?
Oh yeah, Farragut had a bunch of people there. West had a bunch of
people
there.
This will be bigger.
This will be bigger.
This will be huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good thing it's at West. You got stands on both sides. They'll be packed. They will be packed.
This is true. So yeah. Shane, what final thoughts before I give it to 2 pair to close us out?
Yeah, I'm just ready for a great weekend of football.
Absolutely.
Congratulations, Shane, man. Everything, God's good. Got your job.
Appreciate it.
Everything, man. Everything's going to work, brother. That money's going to start rolling in pretty soon, and bam, you're going to be set,
a lot of long days, but it'll be worth it.
Yeah. Well, we got to throw up that W. We got to throw up that W for old time's sake, all of us, and so forth. And 2 pair, you know what to do, baby. Close us out like you always do, baby.
Oh man, just another great week of sports. I mean, baseball has been going wild. Football, basketball is about to be revved up. I just really want to say, man, take the time to really communicate with your people. You know what I'm saying? Really communicate and be concise in your words, because words have meaning. So that's a little tidbit for this week. Rebels with a cause.
That's right, baby.
Yeah. We out, baby. Go Rebels.
Go Rebels.
Tune in tomorrow.